How about now? Does it sound better? I just had to unplug it and plug it back in. Mic is still broken. Mic check. 1, 2. Hold up a second. You guys are fucking with me too much. Now I gotta turn it on something else. Hold up a second. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. That sounds fine. Oh, they're messing with me. Hey, Steve. How you doing? All right, hold up. Let me get off of mute in Discord so Chad can talk. There you go, Chad. Say something in Discord. I gotta check and make sure your levels are good.
I will not say something in Discord.
Oh, God, you're really loud on there. You're not loud to me, but you're probably really loud to them. Try again. Crap, hold up. I'm on push to talk here, aren't I? Give me a second. Let me fix that.
Oh,
all right, talk again.
Are we good now? Are we good now?
Go test 1, 2, 3.
I was like, Ghosty, am I good? And you're like, muted, not there. I'm like,
I'm trying to make
ready.
Like where I had you before, you were peeking all the way into the red to where it's clipping. So I'm making sure we don't. You always come across really loud on Discord.
Opposite of what I've been told by Jintan.
Maybe I just have you turned up too loud. All right. Let's give away $250 million ISK for early bird prize.
It's got me in the low yellow on my end. You might just have me turned up, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They said all volumes are good.
All right, volume levels are good. Let's give away some prizes, and then we'll get to the festivities. Radico said he might join us. So, Chad, let's see. He said he doesn't. Oh, well, he said he's got to work tomorrow, so he wouldn't be able to be here long.
Yeah. Azura's streaming.
Yeah, Azura declined.
I know why.
Oh, Chad.
No spoilers. Hold up. I got a deal for you. Let me log back in.
Yeah, but you just won $250 million. Does the deal somehow revolve around that?
Roll again. Like
roll
reset who's in the drawing. You gotta reset it though.
Oh, so
everyone's got to redraw, and then winner gets $1 billion, and I'll pay the rest.
Oh, did you guys hear that? But you have to jump through one more hoop. Exclamation mark draw again. Let's set a fresh timer. 1 minute. 1 minute on the clock. Chad is quadrupling it.
If I win again, it's going to go up to $2 billion. And I'm just going to keep going and double it from there.
Hurry up.
Until I stop winning.
Exclamation mark draw. You got to do it one more time. You can't be lurking on this stream. 1 billion ISK in 45 seconds.
Ooh, I made another 15 bill while I was offline. Nice.
Ooh, nice. Man, let me tell you guys, we've got some good matches to show you. The AT-19 is shaping up to be a good one. A lot of interesting ideas coming out of these teams. Also, a lot of bad ideas coming out of some of these teams.
Snuff did not bring 4 Deimoses.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Snuff didn't bring 4 Deimoses. We couldn't laugh at them for that. That's not to say we won't get to laugh at them at least a little tonight. But we're going to try to keep it spoiler-free as much as possible. Me and Chad have watched all these matches, so you're not getting a fresh reaction, unfortunately. But we are going to break down some of the more interesting matches. There were more than one nail-biter this weekend. It was really good. A lot of teams brought their A game. It really showed that they wanted to get through the feeders as quickly as possible, secure their free skins, and possibly even some AT ships in their future.
Do you give it money from the ghosty with the face mask on?
Huh?
Or what account do you give money from so I could give
Oh, either. Tonight, actually, now that I think about it, I needed to send that. Oh, you just reminded me that character has nothing in his wallet. Lemming attack, you just won $1 billion. Lemming, congratulations. But I need to know who to give it to.
Feed it to the worm.
Holy shit. Holy crap. Lena is the name. How you doing, Lena? 1 billion Iskies about to come your way. Hold up, let me put this over here so you can see it. And this right there. Now, Chad already put it at $1 billion. Let's do one more giveaway before we get started. Let's give away... I'll save the large for later. Let's do a small skill injector. I'm not going to make you press reroll for this. But we're going to give away a small injector to start. Again, I do have several small injectors and a large injector to give away tonight, so make sure you're staying tuned. We will be giving away quite a few prizes this evening, even though we're just mostly going to be reviewing videos. We may play some EVE afterward, just depends on how I feel. My computer chair broke last night, so the chair that I'm sitting in now is much less comfortable. Noki, you just want a small injector. Ghosty is saying keep headphones off so you don't. That's not what I'm saying. You're putting words in my mouth, sir. Okay, Nocturnal Hellscream gets a small skill injector. For those of you who don't know, you can split large skill injectors into 5 smalls worth 100,000 SP, assuming you're at low levels. Yeah, I mean, they're diminishing returns and all that good jazz, you know. But the fact is, it's 1/5 of a large. So, there you go. And then, let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Let's start. Let me turn off the music. Okay, what was the first match we were going to do? So, again, we've got 7 matches for you guys to see today. Some really good ones. Let's start with Ancient versus Wormageddon.
That's
again, this was another one. Oh, hold up. I got to turn that. Crap. There we go. Now they can see. Hold up. Let me turn off a few other things. Set the timer. We don't need a timer right now. Give me a moment. Just a moment. And we can... Always on top. No, there we go. Okay, Ancients versus Wormageddon. So, again, we had... Wormageddon's obviously the Wormholer group. Was Ancients a Wormholer group as well?
I have very little knowledge on...
Does anybody know if Ancients is also a Wormhole group? I don't think they are. But obviously you can see the bands here. Pause the video, damn it. Barghest Curse carries Scimitar. So I was predicting that Worms was trying to force them into some sort of armor comp by getting rid of the Scimitar. Or at least getting rid of some sort of chase down, like a charging, or what do you call it? A rush comp, a shield rush comp. Because Scimitars seem to be really popular for those. What were your thoughts at this point? Because I'm not sure if you were casting this one or not.
I do not necessarily... That's the fun part, by the way. I don't remember half the matches I cast, just because there's so many. But...
Like, if you didn't know
say,
what...
like, the thoughts of these bands are just, like, Barghest is strong. It's probably one of the strongest ships in tournament setting right now. A lot of teams are going to ban it. It'll probably be one of the more banned ships.
And those of you who don't know, the Barghest gets ridiculous bonuses to warp scrambler ranges, plus it's really fast and fits missiles, which are typically pretty deadly in this format.
They also shoot out to 100.
Yeah, and
Which is
they
longer
can
than
shoot
anyone
missiles out to
else's.
100 kilometers, so it's long range, it's fast, it can scram you from a mile away. It is just a big old bag of nope. Or should
So
I
I
say a
get that, man.
flapjack of
Curse
nope?
ban, which is also the curse ban's always been kind of utilized because curses are expensive points wise, so a lot of teams will choose not to fly them. But teams that feel like they're really skillful, or that have those pilots that really think they can fulfill the entire role of the curse by being a neuting person as well as a TD style of play to shut down the other team. Yeah, you're guessing sometimes, or 50-50 rolling on if you're going to have the correct TDs. Sometimes you bring half and half, which is a little less powerful but safer.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to position good. You got to utilize your newts, your TDs, and you got to live because there's not a ton of EHP on it, and it's worth a lot of points for what it is. Some teams are, you run into a good pilot with those things. Curses get very scary because they can be utilized and screw an entire team in a matter of the first 15 seconds of a match.
Yeah, you all are very aware of my hatred for the curse. It's definitely a scary ship.
With your high grade pod plus VNI, curse says nope.
Yeah, curse says nope. Curse says a whole lot of nope.
That's what the carry scimitar. Your
And
shield
then-
analysis on the
And
scimitar
to explain to
makes
those who might
sense.
know, the carries, again, like the Barghest, has really long range. Carries is the one with the long range scram, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and it also gets another bonus, right?
It gets damp bonus.
Remote dampening
Don't forget.
bonuses. Gotcha. Because Galente dampening, I need to remember that combo. The Galente ships like remote sensor dampeners. And then again,
Let's start with the semi. Let's start with the semi. You made a point earlier on banning semi. A lot of people like it because it's a very quick shield ship.
yes, and it's a very powerful shield repper. I cannot stress how powerful the scimitar is in a lone Logi roll for shield fleet. These things are very fast. They get bonuses to rep drones, which don't really come into play a whole lot because shield rep drones in general are trash. And it's got a lot of survivability. The thing can mount a lot of shield extenders, at least and I'm talking in terms of the live game more than I am AT formats, but it is definitely a very powerful shield-based logistic ship, never to be underestimated. Catching one of those things is going to be a pain in the ass because they can go 2K flat with an afterburner. So there's going to be no sense. Yeah, there's no sensor bloom or anything to give you any edge on trying to track it. This thing will it will kite you like a fucking scepter. Almost. Not quite.
I know a lot of people prefer the scimitar. If you go back a few ATs ago, a lot of those top end Logi pilots were flying the scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
That's changed a little bit more nowadays with some meta changes, but I understand why people like scimitar bands because they felt
I'll
like
just
they
say
were
this: if you're going to take an
off
actual
those good Logi pilots too, they're putting off the good Logi pilots, or they're making it now easier for those mid-tier Logi pilots to struggle if they get used to a ship. That's a good ship to ban for that. I do think there's alternatives. I do think that it is less used than it used to be, and the Carius is just annoying. It's just annoying. I don't have to say anything more.
Not being able to lock your targets is very annoying.
The one thing I will note, Ancient's bans seem very normal. If you saw those bans, you don't know what's coming. There's a little, not really a ton you can gain from the bans. They're bans that okay, those bans they're safe, they're normal. I don't want to see that stuff. It's annoying. You're banning annoying stuff. You're not banning out a comp. You're not saying you have a weakness. Where Mageddon's bans don't necessarily, to me, it screams we don't want to see Shield Kite or Rush. It's a little weird because those bans I don't think are as strong and common as they are nowadays. Carius is a strong ban, but there's other E-War platforms. Scimitar is a good ban, but there's other Shield Logi platforms. It's there's alternative platforms for those ships versus Ancient's bans.
But those may be the best.
The
would you say, though, that those are the best ships for a Shield Kite comp?
I would say
even if there are alternatives,
is getting rid of the strongest ability. If you're running let's say a Shield Kite damp comp, you're getting rid of the best ships. There's an alternative. You're weakening the comp, but if they're saying they're afraid of it, and you're just gonna weaken it, if they're afraid of it, maybe you should still fly it. It's a captain's decision. If they want to weaken their comp but think it's still powerful enough to beat the other team, if they're showing they're afraid of it, it's a whole game with bans. They could be doing that to make a captain think they're afraid of it when they're not,
Okay.
and want it, and they're trying to bait you into bringing stuff. It's a bunch of mind games. But I will say, I think Ancient's ban list was slightly more tournament team style. They are a tournament team. Wormigen's is, I believe, a new team.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see the maturity of the Ancients bans, I think, showing through a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. And now let's fast forward to just as the match is starting. I really liked both of their comps. Double Megathron Navy with the Balgorn versus Vindicator Megathron Navy. I am a big fan of the Navy Megathrons. They're very durable ships due to respectable DPS, and the Balgorn, again, can just be that newt boat nightmare, or it can be a high DPS boat. A lot of flexibility there. The Double Deacon, I wasn't sure. Maybe they just had some spare points lying around. I'm not sure what else they could have gotten if they didn't double up on the Deacons there. And then you look on the other side, just compared to, you know, Double Deacon versus Aneros, you're getting a lot more. I think you're getting more rep power out of the Deacons than the single Aneros.
Nope, other way
Maybe
around.
not. Is
Also,
it the other way around?
can I ask a favor of you? To
What's
move
that?
your personal camera, so that
Yeah.
I would like you to at least show the names of all the pilots and the points.
There we go.
Because I do think every one of
Sorry.
these pilots deserve recognition. You know what I mean?
Hold up. Maybe I can put myself up here.
That's not
Maybe
the end of
better.
the world, right? There's fine. That works.
Okay.
There, that works too. But yeah, you're actually going to get more rep power out of an Oneris than you are the Double Deacon. But you're going to get the ability to rep yourself or your
No,
lodges.
you're not wrong. We saw some absolute trash comps this weekend, but we also saw a couple of teams take it seriously and bring maybe not their. Mystic was talking about this. You don't necessarily want to bring your best comp, but you need to bring a good comp because you don't want to get knocked out before it's even began. And a couple of teams, maybe they could have done a little bit better. Maybe they were trying to hide too much.
I think feeders, right, shows a level of team competency, right? It seems like a lot of new teams or teams that don't have the best of theory crafting or tournament-based knowledge will bring those trash tier comps because on paper, this looks great, this looks annoying, this looks... And it's just not something normal versus some of those top-end teams will look and say, this is something that's normal, that's run by other people commonly. We can execute that without showing our theory crafting. So good teams will run those like really common comps, you know,
Your bread and butter comps.
They can execute, you know, better because they're an experienced team versus new teams feel like they have to make something brand new and go in there and just be better than another team based on theory crafting. And sometimes it's just really risky for a new team.
Here's a question for you, Chad. Do you think after 19 years, the meta is pretty much solved? Or do you think there's still room for innovation?
Here's the thing. A, the meta will never be solved because there's always something that is deemed too much. Like right now, Evor's heavy. Right now, the Barghest is still like the go-to flagship. I think there's a few ships that stand out as overly powered, and if they get changed, comps will change. B, I think it is bad to officially have a set meta for a tournament, because it's not healthy to say, run it back, same thing, every year, no change, no nothing. It gets dry. So I think Zealous, this year he didn't do a lot of changes. Some people are complaining about that. I don't think it's the end of the world. People are worried it's going to get dry. I don't think it will. Zealous has things up his sleeve. I'm not going to spoil anything, but being on a few calls with him and other tournament makers, they have some really out in left field ideas that they could do that I think are almost too far out there to do. But if they dial stuff back a little bit, there will be a lot of meta shifts throughout the next few tournaments that could happen that will bring some new light to the tournaments.
Hello, Casper. How you doing? Says the meta doesn't get solved. Something can always beat the best with enough time. It's whoever stays on top of the changes and doesn't get stagnant.
From the guy on top.
From the guy on top.
Yeah, that's...
I've heard people say Casper. Who is Casper? Casper, introduce yourself to me, the idiot.
If you want to let everyone else know who you are, if they don't know who you are.
I know I should know you. You're
You
just
should
some
know who
nerd.
Casper is.
I know I should know who you are, but I don't. I know the name Casper, but I don't know who. Because
I
I've heard
like your
Azura say the name
response.
Casper. I've heard Radicos say the name Casper. I can't. It's like.
Radicos and Casper ain't on the same page, man. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, let's watch
So
this.
I
Let's
like your
watch
some
this.
nerd though. Yeah, let's watch him. Let's go through what we got.
Because this
going
was a
on
good
here.
match. This really was.
This was day
Make sure
one.
it's playing.
Yeah, this was
Okay.
day
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Day one. Crap. In 15 seconds. 7, 6. There we go. That's close enough. Bert links up.
I will say the one thing that sticks out like kind of crazy is the use of mega navies. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I understand why people like them. Good damage, good tank, but it's just like Rush meta has never been a thing. Galente points being lower.
Well,
for Galente
okay, so you look
Federation
at it
points.
like from the Ancients' perspective, it almost feels as though they're using it as a faux Vindicator, like a second Vindicator almost, just to avoid the point penalty.
Well, here's what's interesting too. They're running all blasters. This is something I pointed out in a backstreet channel to a few of the people I was talking to, especially against an armor comp, and it's turning into a brawl. I mean,
See,
I think everyone expected
Yeah, the
that.
Mega is sitting there up front, screening, being the line that can't be crossed. You got the Brutix Navy and the Vindicator also helping out with that, so that the exec can sit right behind them. The Thorax sitting back there too. Was that a rail Thorax?
No, I think
Okay.
this is all.
So he's
this is all
just
blaster.
he's just holding back for the moment then.
And at this point, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Wormageddon's going to lose their Mega Navy first." I said,
Mhm.
"Yeah, Oneros reps are better than Deacon reps, but here's the problem: Ancients brought purely blasters. Damage types are at least spread out on the Wormageddon team. And I said
Mhm.
reactives because the EHP these ships have. I put a bet that Ancients loses their Mega Navy before Wormageddon loses theirs, and as I think we're just about to see that
'Cause
might
they're
actually
both
happen.
I mean,
It's close.
it's
But
hard to
Wormageddon's going down a little quicker, you know.
Mhm. But it looked like the Deacons are overheating at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, Oneros reps are just better when it comes to keeping ships alive. Because you got
Both
you
these
got,
Mega Navies
you can
being the
fit three
champs.
mediums and a large. You can fit 3 mediums and a large plus your rep bots, bonus rep bots. As we see now, it's about even, but now Wormageddon's crawling back. Like it went to even though Geddon was down. Now they're actually crawling back, and the pressure on the Deacon in the low end, forcing a rep or two off the Mega Navy. Good move by Ancients right there. Realizing that they're not technically winning the DPS war anymore, especially down 3 battleships to 2 to start the match.
Mm-hmm.
They do got a lower end that's nicer though. Not by a ton, but I do like the Exec Navy, Brutix Navy. But as we see, Ancients uses their Mega Navy first.
Worms goes down very quickly after, I believe. 'Cause it's already in structure.
He's half structure, but he's not taking it. He's not getting like deleted. There we go. That's deleting. But
It
there's
was
already an Exec Navy in half armor, so he
Yeah.
lived long enough to do that.
So Wormageddon got the head start on their secondary target, but still hasn't
Deacon's
managed to
already in
kill
half
it.
armor.
Yeah, and Ancients decide, no, let's get the Logi now.
And they're also shooting a Mega Navy now as well. It seems like top end, low end split, like
Mhm.
just trying to get those reps spread out, which is good, But I will say the Ancients bringing all those blasters.
Watch the
really
Nurgle this
did show.
fight. He should be attached to the Oni. He orbits this fight for 10 minutes
Yep.
without shooting his gun.
Up
There.
top left. Their camera just phased to your face. Yeah.
Well, I'm seeing Mauler, Skybreaker, Pontifex up there in that corner.
I'm just putting this out there. If that's a full new Mauler on Wormageddon, his ass needs to get up there on that Oneros. I'd assume that's a full Newt Mauler, but he does look like he's kind of.
So you think he forgot to turn on his gun?
If he forgot to turn on his gun, I mean.
Also,
Imagine
brave to not ban the Oneros with a full kinetic thermal damage on the Ancients.
Yeah.
They could have banned the Oneros and had an easier time with it.
I mean, they have their own Oneros, and yeah, I don't think he's.
Well, they're coming up against a Deacon.
That Brutix is already going down. The exec's down. They killed a Deacon. They're about to kill another Deacon.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's on paper. It's not a good trade. You lost, 3 DPS ships for 1 DPS ship in their Logi. I will say having Neros left when the other team has no Logi is a huge advantage in general. So I don't think Ancients is out of it. But like if they lose this Brutix Navy before they at least get halfway through this Mega Navy, they're not, looking in the best position.
Yeah.
But like I was thinking in my head when I saw this, like Ancients has experience. It might not be like top tier experience, but I think having some experience is better than a team walking on.
Okay, so the Oneros is
very
way
little
up
experience.
There. Like, I'm wondering why they went for the Brutix Navy instead of... Like, they were able to kill the X-Navy, so therefore it was probably a good choice. But then, shouldn't they have gone the Oneros? Tried to get the Oneros?
This is what's interesting. Like, their Mega Navy's tackled, their Balgorn's tackled. Wormageddon's hard like, their big DPS ships are in the thick of it. They're not getting out. So that Oneros is just sitting up there, tackled by these tackle ships. Yeah,
that's what he's getting at. The Nurgle had the Nurgle had the Oni the whole time, tackled.
The Nurgle could technically solo the Oni.
So why isn't he?
Rep bots.
He forgot to turn on his gun. Oh my lord! Is that why?
Did that sucks?
Oh.
It's kind of funny in the sense like Nurgle did good job. You got on Oneros, you could solo Oneros. You probably won't kill it if they throw all their rep bots on it, but that's rep bots on an Oneros and not a primary.
Instead of the primary, the Brutix Navy might have died.
Also, like if it needs to, like just send Aponte's drones or Magus's drones up to kill rep bots quickly.
And at this point, they're switching to the Vindicator because they couldn't kill the.
Is there a Skybreaker that I don't see because
of black way
bar
up
at the
there?
Bottom of the screen?
Yeah, he's way up in the top with the Oni.
Yeah, so they have a Skybreaker just could kill those rep bots too. Like there was a lot of options for Wormageddon.
Well, the Skybreaker's scrammed, so maybe he can't get close enough to do anything. He should be in range of snipes. The snipe shot, though. I don't know. Yeah.
The thing that kind of stood out to me, right, was Wormageddon, having just that. Balgorns make a huge difference in these matches. Maybe if the Balgorn was able to just get up there a little bit closer to the Oneros and put a newt on it, or the Mauler gets up there and puts a newt on the Oneros, you just hold it with the Nurgle, just 1v1 it with a newt. That is just gonna win you, a game. But right now,
so that
it does
whole
think,
time, a Nurgle could have been digging into the Oneros, and it didn't.
I don't know. Maybe this could be something in like left field, but like the Vengeance was up there too the whole time, screwing around with that Nurgle. But I was gonna say, imagine if it had newts on the Nurgle, but it didn't. Unless the fancy UI wasn't showing it. That Nurgle like got up there, tackled it, and that was it. Like,
and why wasn't the Skybreaker? Some weird things happening in this match. Now that you go back and look at it, so the Ponte and the Skybreaker are on each other's butts the whole time with the Oneros up there too. Because there's the Oneros right up here. Where's the Nurgle? The Nurgle's dead. Was probably the Nurgle.
It was on it the whole time though. And the thing that like comes out to me that I'm not going to call it a throw, but I will say Wormageddon had a nice advantage in the beginning, having 3 battleships, taking out a battleship in half of an exec as they lose a equal battleship. So they still have 2. The other team only has 1 plus a Brutix in half an exec's HP. That's looking pretty good for Wormageddon, especially like I said, with the fact that the thing to me that stood out when I saw Ancient's comp is that's all thermal kinetic damage.
Yeah.
The entire comp is thermal kinetic damage.
Hold up. I rewinded a bit. I want to see where that
showed.
Trying to see where he's talking about the Nurgle. I don't think we can see it on screen at the moment.
It was
right there, way up there. Right, way up there. There's the Oneros.
Right there. Yep. The Nurgle and the Mollusk. You could have killed
Is-
the Mollusk too.
That's not the Nurgle. That's the Skybreaker. Where's the Nurgle? Where's the Nurgle? I don't see the Nurgle.
Nurgle's middle of the pack right now. Mr. Frosty,
Okay.
middle of the pack. He's birding up probably in a second towards the Soneros.
Because here comes the Ponty going up there with the Skybreaker, so you've got the Mollusk.
It just seems like you're putting a lot of people up there, and you're not getting anything done.
Okay, there's the Nurgle right there. He's with Deacon on the Vengeance.
Clearing
now he's going up. Now he's going up.
Hot shot directly up. But now look at this. This is a Magus on there, a Ponty on there, a Nurgle on there, a Skybreaker on there, and the Oneros. Well, here's the thing. I bet you their call was get up there and tackle that Oneros.
Because here comes the Nurgle. The Nurgle coming back down for the Mauler.
Yeah, and then everything just tackled the battleships. Like, they have no way now to get to the Oneros. Like, you know, at this point, if you're going to tackle something, you need to be able to get yourself to it using Balgorn webs and nukes.
He should be at 0 on the... Watch the Nurgle speed. He doesn't get touched. He should be at 0 to the enemy lodge. He's spooling a cult. Nurgle is still free, roaming around. Nobody cares about... Yeah, that's the point you're getting at, is that he should have been up there, but he's just running around here not even shooting his gun.
And its thing is,
well,
like,
he's doing some sort of E-war. He's got some sort of E-war.
He's doing something, but like you make a very good point. You send a Ponty up there, you send a Magus up there, you send a Nurgle up there. That together on an Oneros should be able to delete it.
Yeah.
And that would make a big difference right now in this match. You get through that Brutix Navy, you know, you put pressure on that Oneros to have to start worrying about his own reps, just thinking more. You know, that's something I say, you know, captaining a team to players. If you make another team have to think more and have a better chance of screwing up, then that's fine as long as you're not doing something stupid. You know. So like them doing that's not bad, but you gotta put pressure on him.
And let me preface something going forward to anybody else. It is easy to armchair general this shit after the fact when we can rewind over and over. It's like, well, why didn't you do that? You have literally seconds in the match to come up with what you're going to do, and panic is a very real thing. So don't judge these people too harshly, okay? They did a really good job. That was an impressive start from one.
And one thing I'll point out on that is a team like Wormageddon, like I said, don't recognize any of these pilots at all. First match for, I would assume, a lot of them when it comes to tournament setting. They're in front of 3,500 viewers.
Yeah.
They've never done this before in their lives. I could imagine for a new team, the shakes exist through the roof.
Well, I'm going to be shaking like a fucking leaf.
This is only technically my second tournament. My shakes are starting to vanish. I didn't really have a ton to begin with, but I know people on my own team that still get the shakes, and it's real.
And you know, maybe their execution.
You don't make the right choices sometimes.
And maybe the execution was poor, but their comp was solid. Like, I really did like both comps, you know. And
I think they took a comp like this and just said, that comp, we're going to rework it to this. Like, they probably took a comp, because Armor Control was pretty good last year, took it and reworked it to something to make it kind of their own flavor. I think it looks pretty nice. I like the Bal Double Mega. Good EHP, good control. I personally don't like the Nurgle. I personally just don't think it's the best ship in the world. I know people are going to utilize it, but overall, Wormageddon, I don't think that was a bad showing by them for a first match.
Real quickly, guys, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time doing this, but exclamation mark draw. Let's put 1 minute on the clock. I'll give away a small skill injector just to keep everybody interested, and then we're going to go to the next video. So exclamation mark draw for a small skill injector, if I can get the timer right. We'll do exactly 1 minute while we talk about our next match. Hold up, let me shrink this window a little bit. Okay, next one, Brave versus Kitchen Sinkhole. This one, I'm so proud of Brave. Good job, Brave. This is a good match.
I'll leak a little until we did a little internal stuff with Brave. Good guys.
I mean,
they're good guys. They're good guys. And you know, working with Fairvina on the desk, really nice dude to talk to and work with. Definitely like working with Brave. I will say last year we worked with Kitchen Sinkhole, pretty good guys too. You know, like a lot of the guys in the tournament scene, as long as you're not, a bitter asshole or do something that really pisses people off, you're usually going to get along with most of the people in the scene. So just don't, scream at everybody in, a certain Discord.
Collusion.
Collusion.
It's all collusion.
It's all collusion. That meme, dude, that memeing is just.
Teams in any sport that ever existed have never scrimmaged like this. It's collusion.
Dude. They play tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, next weekend. Day 3.
Right.
Day 3's tomorrow in my head, so.
Davy Jew, you just want a small skill injector. Let me know who to give it to real fast so we can get back on the ball here. Create contract. Yes, very nice. Who do I give it to, though? Oh. Rushala. Hold up. Copy. Paste. Split stack. Enjoy. All right. Now, one thing. Oh, crap. I forgot to pause it. So here we go with the bands. Quite obvious that Brave did not want to deal with sensor dampening in any way. I mean, obviously there's still the Celeste and the Latch, but they wanted to take away the low point value damps at the, if you're going to bring damps, you're going to pay for it kind of mentality. But Sinkhole didn't want to deal with Blackbirds. Obviously, I agree with him. I hate ECM. I don't understand the Vindicator band. It seems too vanilla of a ship. Like, it's really powerful, but again, it's one of those ships that just about anything else could probably do its job.
I will say, the reason I think people ban the Vindicator, and once again, I think it's a little bit, not a waste of a ban, but Vindicators are powerful. They're really good at, they can't be screened. You put one Vindy web on something, it vanishes. It goes pop.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only purpose behind that ban, I think, is it holds stuff down. They can't move, and it makes it go pop. So I get why people might be frustrated fighting it, because its tank's not horrible. Those webs are the reason people ban it, because that's the one difference between it and any other ship in the game. That's why.
All right, let me
Blackbird, obviously ECM, annoying as hell always, and it's cheap E-War that's getting banned.
Mm-hmm. Again, two fairly...
Exactly, Casper. Logi frigates die fast to Vindicators. You're 100% right.
Mm-hmm. Could be a ban to pretend. So the Vindy's good against Logi frigates?
You put 2 webs on a Logi frigate, they don't move at all. They can't SIG. And they can't SIG tank. Which is funny that that's mentioned, though, right? Vindicator bans from the kitchen sinkhole side, they didn't bring Logi frigates at all anyways.
Yeah, so, okay. I mean, good point, but it didn't...
Maybe it's something that's in their, back pocket. They like running Logi frigates. I think they do, because I remember that last year. And they just are going with, these are our comps. These are the bans we're going to run for all these comps, so we have options on the, table. Maybe one of their comps got banned out. I doubt it, but
yeah,
a lot of
you got a point. Double Griffin. The problem is that they went double Lashak, and that's like over half their points right there because of the point penalty. So Lashak's normally 25.
OP. Double Lashak OP. I mean, it looks good on paper, but you can get screwed really easily.
Mm-hmm. Can be sniped by T3Ds.
Hey, Lashak could not win every match because there was a match with double Lashak versus double Lashak.
Yeah, so technically Lashak
did end up losing. Well, I mean, I guess you could argue every match that had Lashaks, there was a Lashak winner. I guess, yeah, you could argue that. But again, Brave did win win this match. As a spoiler,
yeah,
it's a stupid good match though.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, it was, like I said, very, very, very proud of Brave. been their grinding stone perfecting this particular comp. we were sitting here watching, it's like, oh, we know this one.
We recognize something like
we
this.
recognize this comp. But yeah, so you got the Balgorn double Armageddon Navy. Again, just a very potent combination of damage and neutralizing effects. Saving points by going a Punisher, just a little T1. What was that replacing? Something like maybe a Heretic?
It's a low point version of something like Punisher be tanky, so it's like a tanky version of a Scepter, I guess you could say. T3s are what people tend to prefer because they get that damage output, but and they get mids, unlike the Punisher. But if you're looking for, just trying to squeeze that little bit of a tankier tackle in there, that's probably what they were trying to do.
And then, okay, so with the double Leshak, what is their aim here? Are they trying to dig in deep with these things, or they want to like just control range and shoot from afar? Like, how does the double Leshak work on paper?
Personal opinion is that, with what you see on grid right now, I'm sure those are rapid, heavy Geddon navies in a bow. You probably don't necessarily want to get in the thick of it in those Leshaks instantly. It's tempting because you see those Python numbers and like, Leshak do damage. And that's all you do is say F1, we win. But those newts are scary as all can be to those Leshaks. Because you can't spool, you can't do that Leshak damage anyways. So
yeah,
like usually when I play Leshaks, I like to play back a little bit at the start because teams will burn into you and you could get those nice Leshak tracking shots on medium smaller end ships, get a free kill, let them tackle you. Like, I'm not saying don't brawl, like don't kite with the Leshak, you shouldn't be kiting with it, but make them burn to you, get the tracking, utilize that damage, and then switch to a cult and finish the job or start a job on a big, target.
And Niall's pointing out they could have gone, Kitchen Sinkhole could have gone Griffin Kitsune for the same point value. What do you think about that?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Kitsune better bonuses.
Like I said, we see the idea they were going for, but it does not appear that like this comp was optimized properly. But anyway,
Varg's not a bad captain, right? Varg,
yeah,
he's in a comment this much. He's not a bad captain,
and they are a good team.
There has to be a reason in their mentality to do that. I would think. I don't know what it is. I'm not in that circle of their. I don't see the reason. Maybe they just wanted to.
All right. Well, let's watch this. Start full screen. I'll be right back. Will you talk to the folks?
I will try my best. Or you can just turn the volume on and have myself and Basilisk talk to the folks.
Nah. Hold up. I'll be right back. I'll probably be back. Before it starts. If I hurry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I got to cast this wonderful match, and I was excited when I saw the matchup here, because it's, like, arguably speaking, two armor control camps against each other. Who's going to do it better? But it's weird because it's supposed to be kind of like a Kingslayer setup with two battleships. I think it fits more into that control niche, though, of you have all those newts and webs. You have that mauler for, newt power with the tackle. You almost kind of can run it as a control camp instead of a idea of a Kingslayer, but it could work a little bit in the same way of that nice burst damage. As you see, like, instantly they're just trying to headshot those annoying Griffins. The exec navy is a primary. I'm sure the Bowl's just putting a little damage or drones into the Leshak to make the Laji think they're going for a Leshak headshot off the gate. What shocked me, though, is that those Griffins did not just insta-pop. Because they don't have that EHP.
All right, I'm back.
As the Kitchen Sinkhole going for a Deacon headshot, which very questionable. Leshak tracking's good, but you're not tracking an hard tackle Deacon. You probably won't track hard tackle Deacon to begin with anyways, but like the Dusk went through that after the match. Leshak shooting into a Deacon You can't rely on hoping for wrecking shots unless there's nothing else you can do. Like, oh, we have something here and everything else is across. You can't hope for wrecking shots and bank on that. So like, Brave had a good start. Kitchen sinkholes, Griffins are slowly dying. Welcome back, Ghosty.
Y'all got to educate the desk. If you're going to steal out comp names, gotta know what they do. Kingslayer goes T1 Logi plus 1 to 2 Hyena forces Logi trade versus T2 Logi and wins.
You're not wrong with that.
And wins because more EHP in core BC of T1 versus T2 Logi. Because of T1 versus T2 Logi.
That's why I think it's more control than anything. Because you can't do what you're even mentioning. And they're not going for an auger headshot. Like, they probably could have gotten away with that. Not the best move, but they might have been able to steal it. But they do get the Griffins. I understand why they're getting the Griffins. If they're trying to sync up those gut-in clips in general, which they should do no matter what they're flying. Now the auger
Now
dies.
they're going for the
Yep.
auger. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So not like, I think Brave's not doing a bad job at the target calling. I will say the Griffins live way longer than they should have. And it also
So
sucks
it's credit,
the
it may have
curse.
just taken them that long to suss out that that was what they needed to do.
Well, the thing that's kind of interesting is like that curse is running turret disruptors.
Uh-huh.
Those Get-in Navies I don't think have turrets.
Dead curse.
I don't think they. Yeah,
Only good curse is a dead curse.
Pretty sure those Get-in Navies were not turret fit. I might be wrong in not remembering the match proper, but most Get-in Navies are turret fit. They're turret fit. Okay.
All I know is everybody was dogging on Brave before this match, and they shut the hell up.
Yeah, no. Brave brought a good armor control comp, and Newts. Say more?
Mm-hmm.
Newts OP.
Yeah, Bal and double Navy arms versus Curse. The Curse is really weak, because all it needs is a couple of newts on it, and then it's shut off.
Yeah, I will
Pretty
say
much.
one thing that, a lot of people dogged on Zealous earlier about the flagship Barghest being like the only good flagship, Vindy being like doable.
Mm-hmm.
Get-in Navy, right? I will say it doesn't scale like those other two ships do. Like, they scale really well with money. Get-in Navy doesn't scale overly well with money. I guess you could argue like the Rapids go up a nice amount if you spend the big bucks on them, and the newts go out farther. But besides, like, it's not as big of a scale. But I do think we'll see some Get-in Navy flagships this year, and that ship will be utilized. And I will say that's a nice thing to see when different ships are getting incorporated into tournament play.
Yeah, full newt maulers do seem to be superior to curses in this format. Having flown the full newt.
4 points, 16 points.
Exactly.
Or no, sorry, 14 points. 14 points.
And what are you getting out of the curse that you aren't out of the mauler? Tracking disruption?
TDs.
Yeah, TDs.
Yeah.
Which did not seem
And
to
I
matter
will
in this
say,
match.
Technically speaking, Curse BT2, but like Mauler resist bonus, it's basically a T2 ship to begin with, anyways. Now
And then the slow death of two Lasheks.
Stupid good. Man,
Right, while this match show you the tail end of the match. Oh crap! Don't
show him the Lashek explosion.
show you the new explosions! Exclamation mark draw for another chance at a small skill injector. Exclamation mark draw! Exclamation mark draw! Do you win a prize? Do you win a prize? Exclamation mark draw! So,
I'll say one interesting, just lost a ton of it. Oh man, big money sads right there. That's. And he didn't tell you that he.
wait, what?
Casper just said that they lost an Atana, which is the AT shield logi, to a Newt Mauler.
Oh no.
That was like 3 years ago, though. So 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm in trouble. As he enters hall, that's horrible. I'm not gonna dog. I don't know who was piloting it. That's some bad comms, though. I'm in trouble. In an AT ship. I could imagine the mentality behind that, though. You're just in like this expensive ass AT ship flying around. I'm in trouble.
All right. Let's roll this off. A small skill injector. And then we'll get to the next match.
By the way, because Casper didn't want to introduce himself, Casper streams as well as is on the Truth Honor Light team back to back.
Okay.
Back to back AT winner. Trying to hide the spotlight a little bit. I get it.
I had you followed, so at some point I had to have known. Kaylin, congratulations. You are the winner of a small skill injector. Yep, already on it. There you go. Didn't even have to ask. It's contract at... Create contract.
Let's just throw me under the foot. Nah. Nah, you gotta let people be, you know... Your name should be out there enough for people, I would hope. Come on.
All right, so In It versus Paper Dolls? Or paper numbers. Sorry.
Yeah, it works. Whatever you throw out, I'm not going to complain about.
There's some things I want to say about the Sleipnir, but I'm not.
This is the Atana kill.
Because I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, it's the Atana kill. Ghost, if you want to pull the Atana kill up before the match.
Oh.
Oh, man.
100 billion.
That's not even proper rate of numbers.
I know.
Those things are way more. AB fit. Ooh, that's an interesting move. Sig tank meta. It's not slow, but
you know, I respect the man. I don't see a single purple module on this thing. Don't they normally have them tanked out? Or
this was in an AT match, so you can't duck it out.
Okay, that's okay. I get it now.
Yeah, you can't duck those out in an AT match. I will say, like, I give mad props to anyone who flies an AT ship, just because, like, I know I buy them, I fly them, and I see some other people do it, but I feel like a lot of people just collect it. It's like, yeah, it's cool to stare at, it's cool to own a part of the game's history, but flying them takes some balls, and, you know, I think that's respectable. AKA Casper taking a 1v1 and a Gary against another Gary, knowing one will die. That was funny, by the way.
Hey, Chaos!
Ava messaged me after.
Hey, Chaos, what are you doing? You want to come and join us and give your perspective? You want to join me and Chad? Just join comms. I still haven't heard back from Radicos, so I'm trying to wait as long as possible to watch that one. We may save that one for last.
Gosh, the year... Wait, was that the match that Casper? Was that the match where CCP turned around and no, that wasn't the match. There was a match CCP turned around and said we're never letting people bring AT ships again because there was like 2 Mortars on one side, and then the other side had double Canbian plus Atana, I think it was, plus a flag Scorp Navy, I think. That match was. Yeah, Camel. Okay.
Yeah, Chaos, just join the public channel. I don't know if you can see the live lounge that we're in. This is like the mod-only channel. There you are.
I'll keep an eye for him if you want to focus
on. There we go. Hey, Chaos. Just in time. We're on match number 3. Initiative versus Paper Numbers. I think you were... Yeah, you watched most of the matches this weekend too, right?
I was there the whole time, yeah. But again, the Basilic was 100 bill.
Yep. It died in an AT match.
Yeah,
Because apparently I didn't
Katana is an
realize you were
AT
allowed to
ship
use them.
That died in an AT match.
I didn't know you can go that big on these feeder ones.
Oh, that wasn't this.
Wow.
That wasn't this year. That was like 4 years ago.
Oh, that one there.
The one that Casper linked, the Ezekiel with the Atana, was like all the feeder ships are free. It's done on a different server. Nowadays, you can't bring AT ships to the tournament anymore because they were deemed too pay to win. Pay to win. Trust me,
The
Hydra would be
Malice was
bringing
strong
like
for
10
AT
AT ships.
matches.
Malice is a good ship, but it's
But anyway,
Misty likes lag.
Well,
okay, just go.
people need to. Okay, I'm sorry, but every time someone says
shit
pay to
ton
win,
of cat ears.
it
OP.
triggers me. Explain what pay to win is.
Pay to win. Back in the there was a match a few years ago. I was mentioning it right when you were joining the call.
Okay.
A team brought a flag Raven Navy or sorry Scorp Navy worth like 60 70 bill, followed by 2 Canbians, which are like nowadays people try to sell Canbians for like 300 billion ISK just for the ship, and then the Atana, which is around 200 billion ISK just for the ship. That's how much money people were throwing into a single one of these kinds of setups of a match to try and beat the other team.
Yeah.
Which is bringing only T2 modules, mind you.
Jesus Christ.
That's not
Yeah,
really, you know what I mean? The matchup's not fair.
Yeah, well, it takes time to iron this shit out. It takes time. But I really like watching this. It's really good. It's really good being part of this. I would love to join one of these AT things, but I think the lag's gonna let me down. Like that's what I'm biggest afraid of is the lag.
I need to ask Kazura about that because he plays with the same lag as you,
He doesn't
right?
lag a lot.
He doesn't
lag a lot. He's AU. But
okay.
The reason being, they will put the game on a different node. It's on its own solo node, to reduce as much lag as possible and make the match. I know if you got like a really shitty computer and if you're somewhat across the world, you might have some issues.
Yeah,
but most of the time it's pretty stable in the if you're in the match, it's pretty stable. I've heard some stories, so I've not had it happen personally.
Yeah, it's just like how the internet works here is Azura must be in New Zealand, but his route to the actual UK server is much, much shorter than us. The Australian internet is just god awful. The routing in that into like the cables underwater and shit like that. Like the only place you leave from Australia is Sydney or Perth. I'm in Queensland. Take that in consideration.
Depending on the role, I don't think. I don't know. Hard to say. I deal with.
Yes.
I think my lag's usually around 100.
Yeah, your lag is not as bad.
We lost grand finals, winning round by 6 of us DCing. Results stand. We were so tilted that we threw the next 2 matches to Tuskers and got second. Ouch. 6 people on the team disconnecting in the middle of the match and you can't get a redo? You can't get a mulligan?
And then, you get that CCP saying your disconnect was not because of our end of the server. It was due to your own local internet or your own internet personally, so we cannot, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I understand the predicament they're in because...
Well, here's the thing. If you have 6 people on your team DCing and they're not in the same, hotel or something, or even if they are, who cares? That's a lot. If there was one person, I can understand saying, hey, you're one dude DC'd, it probably wouldn't have made a difference. But when you have over half of your team, outs the game, it's not necessarily a good look. It doesn't look competitive. And that's...
Now, you can look at it both ways, though, because if they did it, a lot of people would call, oh, I wouldn't want to say rigs, but
They would.
it goes
I'm sure
both
they
ways.
would.
It's a catch
You can't please everybody,
It's just,
and you can't please everybody.
exactly.
It's a lose-lose.
cannot please
Yeah, there's no
everyone.
correct call, because
Yeah.
if you give them the mulligan, then that sets a precedent for somebody else who can, they're having a bad match, so they throw the power breaker and be like, oh no, we got disconnected. What are we going to do? So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Now, but what I will say, though,
it's
is
very,
what I will say is you're in these AT finals, right? And there are eras where teams are dominant over other teams. Huskers has always been a dominant team. Casper's always been on dominant teams. And there are times where one team probably is slightly favored over another, but there's no massive. It's not like one team's curb stomping always. I mean, there's teams like I said with an advantage, but it's fair matchups. It's not like you're giving a team that's definitely not deserving to win a second chance to fix something together to get a miracle win. That's my input on it. These are matches that should go either way. And they're okay to go either way. So it's not like you're giving a team that shouldn't get a reset because they're, that's where I think the precedent does stand. If someone Snuffed Out went against Truth Honor Light match 1 and Snuffed claimed 2 guys DC'd and asked
Nobody
for a redo,
would believe it.
they're not going to win their
Nobody would
redo
believe it.
anyways. But well, they're not going to win their redo anyways. So
Exactly.
it's not saying that it's a waste of time, but they could blame it on something
I would
every
have to
time.
imagine that a team of their caliber wouldn't be so petty as to have to do that if they didn't like the way a match was going,
Exactly. That's where I think CCP's they're not going to look at a team like that in the finals that's competitive as saying that as an excuse for you got to work with those guys. They're not doing it because it didn't go in their favor. And I think CCP probably understands that, but like I said, you made a good point earlier. I think it was Chaos. You can't set a precedent.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Okay. But
let's get on to this.
Going back to what we were talking about earlier with the double the Shacks, yes, Initiative brought double the Shack, double X Navy, so many. That's what, 4 extra points that they could have had somewhere else if they didn't double up on 2 different ship types. Not to say that the X Navy was a bad double. That's a really good ship this year because it's discounted.
It's a ship. Well, don't forget though, it's a ship that's getting a reduction bonus already.
It gets discounted.
So it would normally be worth 7 anyways.
So now you're just getting it at normal price if you double it up, and it's definitely a good ship to double up on. Anyway, so you've got a lot of E-War on Initiative side to back up these 2 Lesheks. You got the Arbitrator for TDs, the Celestis for Damps, Pontifex Magus probably just going to act as a screen, make sure nothing gets too close to the side or maybe go catch something actually. And then Paper Numbers with the Domi Navy. Love Domi Navies.
They got the Navy medium range turret selection today.
And they opted for ECM and Damps for theirs, Celestis Blackbird.
And a Hyena.
Yeah, and a Hyena for Webs, yeah.
And Newt Mauler, because...
Newt Mauler. So yeah, they've got the full flavor there.
That's actually a gun Mauler.
It's a gun Mauler. Yeah, so they've got a lot of different flavors of control on this team. I can't remember how this one went, actually. I don't remember who won.
It's a good matchup. Well, this is. I
remember.
If you want to start playing it,
let's
if you want to start playing it, I didn't lose my points on this one. I won my points. I predicted correctly because Paper Numbers is a dang good team. Riveson's a good pilot. CEO is a good pilot. Park Bank, one of those really good Logi pilots that you gotta respect. Gotta respect the Park Bank Logi. Versus Initiative, which is not a rock bottom team, but they've never been one of those standout teams. Paper Numbers has been a team that's pushing to be a top-ish end team.
So Paper Numbers are focusing down Athalia, and they get Athalia.
Blackbird, good call. I mean, get rid of that annoying E-word when you can. Because those Leshek spools got to be able to go. Which is weird that the Blackbird, I mean, I can understand maybe don't want the Lesheks, I can only shoot the Blackbird and then ramp it on it.
Why is he Okay, no. I'm trying to see how close you think that Blackbird is to Leshek. Couldn't he just start pulling away? Anyway, he's getting locked down by
Blackbird
something.
is... Well, that's
He's
middle
surviving
of...
though, so
He's pretty
probably
far. He's far.
okay.
Hyena's
Celeste getting
screening
primary
for
down
him.
now. They don't want to deal with damps.
You don't want to deal with anything if you're Leshek. But both Lesheks just got webbed by the hyena. Like, good screening. Not hard screening hyena, though.
Should be clip damage from the drones.
Celestus. Paper numbers definitely don't want the Celestus.
Yeah.
It's funny watching this arbitrator putting like a missile disruptor on the Mauler for a second, which probably just didn't make a good choice. I understand it because paper numbers is, you know, you don't, like I said, you don't want to all in unless you kind of have a read for the team. Celestus down. Good start for paper numbers as expected. Their hyena Blackbird control with the Celestus really shutting down those Leshucks from spooling, those ENIs from being able to apply damage for a long-term period of time. Paper numbers just getting some good starting kills to try and get the snowball rolling a little bit before they go for some DPS ships. As we see the exec and arbitrator both being shot. And we're still seeing initiative just go all in on this Blackbird. It did get neutered, it did get grappled now, so Leshek's probably about to spool into this thing. Doesn't take a lot of spool to kill it. Dead.
It only cost him 3 ships.
I was also casting this match too. This is actually not a bad match to cast. Because I thought it was going to be really one-sided. Like, paper numbers is clearly winning at this point. That's what I was expecting. It's
finally
just
seeing
100...
some TDs come out. I swear that Arbitrator has not been doing a whole lot this match. Hardly seeing any TDs go out.
I think I point that out too. It was like the arbitrator might have brought the wrong TDs.
Well, he's got it now. Maybe he just went unscripted. No, he would have had to have the module.
You would have still saw the fancy UI.
Yeah, because they're 2 separate modules, right? You've got guidance and then you've got TD.
Yeah, I think he's running 2 TDs and 1 guidance. I know he had the guidance on the Mauler earlier for no reason, but he's hard tackled. He's scrammed down and E&I is webbed down. I think it's a little interesting, the damage split. I think paper numbers needs to just collect on that. I think that they could just go through.
Oh, I think I remember how this match went now.
I know how this match went, and they're splitting damage, which isn't the end of the world because it's just a single deacon on grid.
Celeste going down.
But you need to kill the deacon and an arbitrator before you shoot the ENI, or just all in on the ENI. Celeste just goes down. Hyena's in half armor almost.
But now
the initiative's
all the
finally
E-War,
starting to do something to the
but
small
all
wing.
the E-War that was keeping those Leshaks at bay is pretty much gone. Now the Leshaks can do what they want.
As long as they could catch up and tackle something, indeed.
Like, it was looking really bad for initiative. Like,
and paper numbers was pulling out that what the Dusk likes to call, and I think it's stupid.
It's amazing how much they actually needed those damps and ECMs.
I hate how they Dusk would call this probably like something similar to an Octodad because it's not even close. But
because now here we go, they lost the Excure Navy, but you know at this point the Leshaks are probably going ham. Where are the Leshaks? Yeah, they're pretty close to each other,
look at
protecting each other, and the Magus is staying near them to screen. Going after that Harb Navy. Harb Navy is down. Who's next? Who's next? Probably the... Do they go for the Dami?
Brutix.
Oh, they're going for the... Well, they're pitching down from the looks of it towards the Dami. It's hard to tell.
Well, this is where things get interesting.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. They're pitching up.
They're pushing up towards the Brutix. Brutix is starting to get out of range a little bit. Dami's pulling the other side of the room, which I think's very smart by paper numbers. You're forcing, you know, Dami Navy's going to do better at range
versus
anyways.
Ponty down south, but there's no support now. It's just 2 Leshaks versus the world.
More than doable.
All they need is each other.
Brutix is already in low armor. Dami Navy's starting to move up towards the Leshak of Dark, as Rocky's still hard barreling in on that BNI.
Oh, but Dark Shines is caught.
What? Dark is stopping his ship. He's not caught. He just stopped his ship.
Oh.
And he's turning around and heading to the Dami and shooting the Dami, leaving Rocky to finish off the BNI. Well, he's not shooting the Dami yet, but he is now because he's out of range of the BNI.
Did Rocky lose his spool there?
No, Rocky's still spooling, but Dark Dark
the beam disappeared there for a second, and I think he lost his spool somehow.
Well,
no,
Dark
he's got
also
the bug
lost.
Where...
Oh, it's just a bug. It's just a bug where the animation's going somewhere. Okay.
Dark lost his spool, and now is 1v1ing the Brutix, and now 1v1ing the Dami, and now the Brutix is pulling back because they don't have the DPS to kill the Brute. Like that was, and now they're each like held. That one's held down. Like they could have killed the Brutix if.
Because wasn't the assumption during the match that somehow Dark got caught and Rocky should have turned around to save him, but now it looks like Dark actually willingly stopped?
Dark willingly stopped and went back to the Dami Navy.
Maybe he thought that Rocky could finish it off without him?
I called that they got split up, right? I didn't know how they got split up, but they got split up, and that's kind of what cost them the match. If they killed the BNI and then doubled down on the Dami together, I think they would have traded a Leshek for a Brutix Navy and just edging out the Dami. It'd have been close, but like they probably would have got the Dami and the Leshek would have died in some capacity. And then you're talking a Prof Navy, an ENI, and a Mauler versus a Leshek. That looks better for Anish. But that move was like, he thought that the one Leshek spooling up would be enough to break the Brutix Navy and he should get a head start on the Dami Navy. Then you got Logi on grid, 2 Lesheks doing the same damage type to a BNI, reactive starting to spool up. BNI's got some good structure HP and armor HP. That's a risk. I understand, like, hey, your tunnel vision in this match, you're losing at the start of this match and getting kited out very heavily by a, better quality team than your own. I got to get on the next target. I need to make sure I'm on the next target so we can kill him. We're down in points. We need to be killing stuff. He's going to get finished off, and then we got to kill him. So I'm going to go over to that guy. I get it. But, got to secure your kill in that situation. Rough showing, because I think Initiative had it pulled back, too. Like, Paper Numbers dominated that start game. Dominated it.
It is amazing how much those Leshaks clawed it back as soon as that Celeste died. It's like you could tell just how much it was hurting them.
Yeah, Casper literally called it to a T. Got to separate those Leshaks because 2 Leshaks together are something. In
looks like they they separated themselves from all appearances.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is at Mental Game once again. Yeah. That
split-second decisions.
Riferson burned into Leshek's
in that
occult range.
The Riferson disrespect.
Burned that Rail Dami Navy into a cult range and just said, "Hey, I'm a juicy target. Want to shoot me?" And Leshek's like, "Oh, you're pretty close. Let me come shoot you." Man, and just Paper Numbers. Like I said, just. Mentally being that stronger team, I think they barely won that match. They probably should have won it by a lot more, but
okay, these 2 we're saving for last. So next is going to be Snuffed versus Goons. This match. One I had to go back and recapture because I didn't catch it live. But before we get into this, let's do one more giveaway for a small skill injector. Let me get that turned back on. Exclamation mark draw real fast. 1 minute on the clock. Well,
actually, talking about that, go see. What account do you mainly pod in?
Yeah, what mainly what in?
Pod in, like fly around on the pod. Like, is it your faction warfare account that you mainly see a pod?
Usually.
So that is...
That's the main account I'm playing on most of the time.
Which go see that?
In-game channel?
With a Y.
Channel? The one I linked in his in-game channel, yes.
Aha. I got a little present for you.
Oh, goodies.
He's getting an early Christmas in July present.
Christmas
Yeah,
in July.
well, it is Christmas of July in freaking Australia, mate. It's our winter. Legit, we have a Christmas in July in Australia.
July, a couple days away.
There you go. So you can pod back to a need to in style.
What'd you get me? I think I already have it. I think I
you
already
got
have
that
it.
one.
Wait.
If-
Is this the one with the... No, that's the Elite. That's the
That's
one
the
with the
Elite one.
fireworks that you were talking about. That's like
Yes.
priceless.
I say, give it freaking 5-10 years, and this is gonna be as pricey as a golden pod. Not
Keep
as
it-
pricey,
That's pretty funny.
but
Kaz.
it's gonna be up there.
Yes, I'm doing it.
Dude,
And
Screw you
Casper,
all,
you're
it's
talking
mine.
about the shield comp, right?
Okay.
Or no, you're not. You're talking about the snuffed comp. You're talking about the snuffed comp.
Hold up. They can't see it yet. Let me give this prize away.
Yeah, go for it. I know what Casper's talking about though, because
Okay.
I remember the match. Y'all
I
really
remember,
do
like,
like
it
that
happened
double Blackbird
yesterday.
setup.
This is
Can't blame you.
a carbon copy, an exact ship for ship copy of the comp we fought White Flag with last year. Thank you for the subscription, Grandpa. Hold on. My headset's dying. Soul Thieves, congratulations, you just won a small skill injector. Remind me who I'm giving it to, though, because I'm scatterbrained.
now you want to zoom out
Yeah,
a little bit on
of
the
course.
skin so you can see the fireworks go off.
One moment.
I'm gonna
The giveaway
say, I hope
characters.
that's not a bug.
Grandpa with some biddies too.
Ooh,
Yo,
100 bits.
while
Thank you.
we're
Thank you.
at it, yo, let's get a hype train going, boys.
Oh, God.
Yeah, golden train.
Can we get the golden hat?
if you're a goon or a snuffed cringe lord and wanna, because I know a lot of those people like to hang around here sometimes. Let's get a hype train going at least. We're about to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about you. We're about to get you that publicity that you always want.
There are additional prizes for hype trains. If we get a hype train going tonight, since it's going to be a short stream, I'll double the rewards like we did last time. So double all those prizes. It's a total of 6 billion if we get up to level 7. Your contract is.
And if you get to level 10, that's not another marshal.
There we
that's a
go.
one-time.
Is it golden? Is it golden? How do we find out? Because it's going to taunt me. My channel colors are black and gold, so the banner is always gold. I assume there's flashy stuff. Hold up. Kappa.
No, so
No golden Kappa. Damn.
supposedly how it works is the second tick should be gold. Like, when a hype train starts,
Mhm.
see the 3 notches? If
Yeah.
the second tick is a gold tick, you've got a golden train.
So you'll know before it even fires.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, level 1
Well,
hype train
that's-
is in play. 50 million or 100 million in the jackpot or in the pool. We're halfway there. Thank you, Grandpa, Cayman, Chad. You were the 3 heroes that got it started. We got 4 minutes left. While we're waiting for that to tick down, let me do something weird. Okay, everybody, exclamation mark draw. This is something I want to get the hang of. I am stealing an idea from, what's his name? Missouri. We're doing a dank can. Exclamation mark draw. If you win, you're getting a prize out of this can from the random number generator. It says there's 15.8 billion worth of skins and other things in this can. So you'll get one at random. Some of them are multiplied, so if you land on one of those, you'll just get one of the stack, not the whole stack. But yeah, I've got a bunch of skins. So exclamation mark draw. While we're waiting for the hype train to end, let's give away prizes. Let's do one on. Just go ahead.
Did you have any original ideas, Kosi?
No, I steal from everybody. I'm a chameleon. I'm a chameleon.
Taking the bits and pieces from everybody.
Best way to do it, mate. Best way to do it.
I have one original. Well, no, that's not an original
Yeah.
idea. I stole it from
I
Rich
have-
Block.
No.
Oh no!
I love how you started that so confidently that he does have one thing, and then it's like, oh shit, never mind.
I love it.
You can all bite me.
Love it.
You can all bite my shiny middle ass. Orak, congratulations. You were the
thought it
first
was like-
winner of my stolen idea. Hold up. How many items are in here?
I'm sorry, mate, but I thought it was a ghost ass, not a metal. Are you lying to us?
I am quoting
You know what? You
the
do
great
have one thing
Bender.
going. You
What's
did
that?
have one thing going for you, and you stopped doing it. And that was if we get a hype train to blank level, y'all could kill me, and then
No.
get a super dropped on
No,
you.
that was stolen too.
Oh my god!
That's Vinegar Duche's thing.
But they drop supers on him.
Well, no, because you either make him self-destruct or you fight him 1v1 and you bring whatever you want and he's in his pacifier. I added the you can pick my ship part within reason. But no, that was Vinegar Duche's. That's not even. I am so unoriginal. I'm just a chameleon. I'm blending into my environment. Anyway, so what we're doing is there's what 317 items. Where's that generator? So max is 317. Let's roll 3 times to warm it up. 3, 2, 1. You get item number 129. So where is that?
Have fun counting.
No, this is how you do it. You just highlight.
Yeah.
So
fuck
you
that.
got a Hyperion Federal Navy skin. That's what you got.
What's a nice skin?
Congratulations. You just won that out of the dank can. All right. I got
Hyperion skin of a Hyperion.
You know, I've actually never flew that ship before, the Hyperion before.
It's a good ship.
Never actually jumped into one or used one or yeah. I need to. Yeah.
Let me get you a fitting that because like a lot of people try the like triple wrap bullshit.
What IJ?
You just lose to cap fights, all the like capacitor issues, and people like will put bling on it, and it's like there's really. Oh, did I not save it? Shit. There's a
Yeah,
really
I
good
need-
fit. I'll have to share you.
Yeah, I really need to start branching off into different fits and ships. Oh,
Ghost, you
shit.
just need to do another battleship brawl where we don't go out to Nullsec and get.
Oh,
I
heartburn.
don't want
Dog
to
time.
say it. I don't want to say it here.
All right.
But you want to talk to Azura soon.
What's up?
The f- is
Ooh.
this thing?
Okay. Hype Train has concluded at level 1. 2 gift subs and 400 bits. Thank you guys so much. Testing to see if the golden kappa was available. Unfortunately, I did not roll the dice hard enough. Let's roll for 100 million. And we'll do another dank can giveaway. Give me a moment. I've got heartburn. I need some Tums.
Oh, I've got a story for today. When you get back. You know what's really bad? Today was actually quite funny.
What's up?
Ghosty went AFK when it was the break on. What is it? Oh shit! The break on again. The AT. But I didn't know he had a wireless mic, right? Or wireless headphones, and I'm here singing, and you can hear me from his kitchen. Because I was freaking singing the Racket Machine.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, "What? Were you singing or something?" I'm like, "Yeah, what?" He's like, "I gotta wear his headphones." I'm like, "Shit!" On the way, wear his headset.
No, I got one. Finally, it took a while. It's been a pain in the butt.
Oh, much better.
because Whatnot.
Davy, you won again? You like you
Rigged.
son of a bitch.
Rigged.
All right. That was for 100 million.
It's not rigged if he deserved it, right?
Exactly.
And then you're
100
doing another
million.
can giveaway.
Shit. 1 second.
I got you.
No, I got it. I got it. Thank you, though.
Now, I wonder if Ghostie's ever going to do that whole, what is it? Channel point redeem for a Hypernet ticket as well. Because he steals everyone's ideas.
Honestly, nah, probably not. Because
I'm
again,
not a gambling man. Like
I am not much of a gambler.
Actually, Ghost, I didn't tell you. By the way, I don't care if the stream knows this.
Okay.
I won a Orca on the Hypernet because I decided to put a ticket in. So guess where that Orca's going?
Where?
Fuckfin.
Ooh.
I'm thinking of doing like a PvP stream.
No, that's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do.
Big guy with us. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Let's do one more dank can giveaway. And then we'll get to the next match. Somebody sent me something, I think, maybe. Grandpa was asking what my in-game name was.
He's gonna see some cookies.
Oh, you sent some S. Gotcha. Well, thank you. Expo, or XOXO. Pretty sure I know. Remember. It's Hexo, right? Hexo Pow. Yeah. Hexo Powwow. Yep. All right. So let's roll. We're down to 116 items in there. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Item number 277. So scroll down the list.
I see a Marshall skin.
Oh yeah, there's quite a bit in here.
Oh, Snuff Boys be in this chat soon if you keep showing that on.
And it is a Tormentor Biosecurity Responder skin. Okay, let's move one of those out.
Reasons to give away skins to me. Because it gives me a reason to fly the ship that I would never fly.
So if I give you a skin for an Ibis.
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
You'd be really shocked about how often my memes about going out there and
well, here,
fleets.
I'll show you. We've got, on the high end here, we've got a Hulk Galnet skin, a Marshall Fireblade skin, a Redeemer a full set of Fireblades, I'll just say that. There's 4 skill extractors, 5 small skill injectors, a large skill injector, there's a Prowler Scope Syndicate skin, Prowler Galnet skin, Saber Galnet skin, Harpy Galnet skin, so there are quite a few nice ones in here.
Skins.
Quite a few ones.
Are we comparing skin crates? Give me a second.
No, this is what dude gave me the other day. He gave you a crate too. He gave us both crates.
That was that one.
Yeah,
okay.
This is that crate. This is what I'm doing with it. I'm not gonna. This is not a monetized crate. I'm just randomly giving these away every stream until I'm out.
Skins is worth more than your whole crate.
Mm-hmm.
My Draugr All-Star Casino skin currently is like on sale for 17 billion.
It's not shit, Grandpa. Every little bit helps. Don't think that only because you only gave me 100 million that it's not worth something. That will definitely help. All of these prizes, everything that I give away has been gifted to me from some other player. So like, and I have literally prizes to cover for the next month or two, easy, maybe 3 if I'm not going to be stingy with them. I've got like 18 large skill injectors to give away, minus the one for the monthly giveaway. That's speaking of which, I haven't. God, guys, go to the Discord, go to the giveaways channel. We're giving away a large skill injector, a scope, Lashak scope skin, and a Phantasm scope skin. The giveaways are there. There are 3 red megaphones you got to click. You got 4 days, and you do not have to be present on stream to win the prize. I'll message you and then you ask you for your in-game name and send it to you that way. All right. Let's get back to the next video. Goons versus Snuffed Out. Now, it is no secret that I hate Snuffed, thanks to their recent campaign to make me miserable. But That being said, nobody was really rooting for Goons going into this, it seemed. Goons were the underdog. Everybody thought Snuffed was going to clean them up. Snuffed actually brought what looked to be a decent comp here. You know, the double Blackbird is a scary thing to face down. And you add the Sentinel and the Carries. You've got the Barghest and the Armageddon Navy for your damage, which is more than enough. A Guardian, solid logistics craft. Goonswarm, though, they seem to bring a pretty good fleet. Chad, you know more about their fleet, though. I'm not as familiar with those ships.
Shield projection, just from the looks of it, with medium rail across the board. Osprey Logi plus Phantasm's a nice little quick projection boat that can really be utilized in a couple different ways if you wanted it to be. It's more just a nice shield projection comp that does fair damage with the cruiser wing and battle cruiser wing that it has.
And one thing to note, though, is look at those control bars. Goons really don't have a lot in the way. They've only got, it seems like they have to kill you.
Yep, that's all shield HP.
Yeah, it's all shield HP.
And then Snuff's obviously got the control because with Newt's on the gun Navy or whatever is in the highs on the Barghest, probably Newt's smart. Followed by Sentinel Carries and the double Blackbird. Like, that's just a ton of control on Snuff's side. I like that setup that they're running, personally. The Snuff actually brought out, I think, a competitive comp against Goons versus their shoving of last year, fighting our team with 4 Deimoses.
So Skybreaker leading the pack, but turning away, just getting in range in case he's needed. Really versatile craft, you know. If you got 2 points to spare, throw in a Skybreaker. Doesn't really matter what else your team is running. Blackbirds, though, spreading out jams literally everywhere almost. With
and then that Sentinel
damps and
getting the Vulture.
Mm-hmm.
And the damps. And the damps as well on the other top end.
Just a whole bunch of hate. Whole bunch of annoying hate being inflicted upon Goonswarm.
Here's what's great. Snuff's picking their target probably right now.
I care for
Navy. Just toying around because once again, you're running 2 rapid heavy ships. They want to clip on something together. Osprey's probably the best target to clip on that T1 Logi you're up against. They're probably waiting for it to be in a better range for them.
Is in deep. Ooh. Look at that. He's like all the way back. Who is he shooting at? One of the Blackbirds, probably, right?
Yeah.
And he's not, it's like he's not even getting, like they don't even care. He's taking no damage, but is completely separated from the rest of his team.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's like ham-fit tackle boat for the team. That'd be a pretty smart move. But
Ferox moving into position to support Quan.
As we see, Nuke Michaels in half armor, but I don't think they're going to be able to break anything just because of all that E-War. Nuke can, being a Barg, probably can do whatever he wants range control-wise.
Where is the damage from Snuffed? Like,
I think they're waiting. They're kind of just playing it out. They realize that they can wait as long as they want until there's a key, easy kill target.
Armageddon Navy leading the pack. It seems like he should be close enough to be hurting somebody, but the only one that seems to have taken any damage is Quan and the Navy Caracal Navy.
The reason, and I think the reason mainly behind this is Nuke had to pull Barghest to shoot far. Nuke was the primary, probably pulled in a little closer with the get a Navy, realized, oh, they're going hard in on me, I gotta pull out. Let's not start shooting something yet. We want to be working together to bring something down with our clips.
Skybreaker and Ferox
the Osprey is what you want to bring down. That's what they want to bring down is this Osprey. See Osprey, shoot it. Exactly. See Osprey, shoot it. That or wait for a critical jam, and that's risky.
That could be it. Maybe they're just not landing the jams and they're waiting.
Well, no, if you jam the Osprey, but yeah, don't waste
jams.
There we
go. They're painting Osprey now. 3 minutes into the match, and they finally picked a target.
And this is the moment of truth where Snuff finally make their move, and they're tanking and controlling just fine. I will say it did take a while to shoot that Osprey. Like I feel like you would have had a chance to have a positioning play on that Osprey.
And this was a stream fail. Like there were some technical difficulties at the start of the first day, as there
Hey, don't
always
worry,
is.
I was supposed to cast this match originally, so.
Yeah.
No, this is what's great. That Osprey is bleeding, but it just feels like damage vanished from it.
Yeah.
That's interesting, right? That's really
It's
interesting.
hard to tell. He's like literally right on top of that MJD beacon right now. Behind his team. Yeah, get shit on.
Well, it didn't go through for me. You can't do sound requests for stream today. I was gonna do a get shit on because
you can't hear it?
Intel found out. No, it doesn't go through. You turned off redeems.
It says it worked for me.
Nothing on my end. I will say though, in local at this point, there was a call out. Nuke Michael burned his guns on that Osprey. All guns burned by Nuke Michaels.
What? The Bargas burned out his guns, killing the Osprey?
Yes. Nuke Michaels, Bargust, gun burn, trying to kill that Osprey.
I shouldn't laugh.
That's what the get shit on.
I've done the same fucking thing, but
I got a meme for you after the match to show to your stream if you want.
Want to buy rep bots on Guardian right now?
Want to buy more time for rapid heavy clips to not burn out for Nuke Michaels?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if Nuke doesn't burn his guns, that Harb dies by now. Even the clip when reloaded, Harb dies by now.
Would the attack bar change to reflect burnt out guns?
No.
Okay.
It shows possible damage by the team based on...
It would? Does the attack bar get diminished if they're...
It does? Okay.
I'm curious.
So it reflects that you can physically not do damage. Okay.
I'll do that on my own time.
Okay, no. What it is the red is applied damage. So that includes how well your things are applying to other ships. The whole bar is what is available. Like paper damage other ship right now, guns being burnt would not be included in that, yeah. And Guardian, no rep bots. Getting like if that Navy wasn't running rep bots, that's sad. If Nuke had the damage, that Harb would have died a long time ago. Just saying.
Well, it's not like the Barghest is worthless without guns. It's still got a lot of other utility. Granted, it is, probably half their DPS, if not more?
About half your DPS.
He can still be a really big tackle, right?
That's what your Confessor's for, but that's about to die because your Guardian died and now your Blackbirds can't live either.
The roll is about to open up.
You lost all your control because you couldn't, AK, probably not the best piloting by stuff, but the burning of guns, you couldn't eliminate the damage to keep your stuff up quick enough. If they eliminated that Harb, I think that probably would have lost a Blackbird. And as Casper, if they had more rep bots, the Guardian lives, they lose a Blackbird. One Blackbird's still enough with the snowball effect that they have going.
Win in hand. I burnt my guns. Everybody gets up.
Imagine your captain. your most experienced player on one of your most experienced players, your captain in the ship that matters the most. Sits there and is like, all right, we finally could shoot something. Oh guys, he's almost out. Oh shit, I burnt my guns. That would be. You just quit at that point almost. They usually your mentality so low, you'd probably just be like, I'm done. That's what Snuffed usually does anyways. That's what Goons usually does anyways. Someone was saying it this match, and everyone knew it before it started.
So had he not burnt out his guns, Goons was definitely dead?
I don't think definitely, but I think Snuff definitely had a firm grip of the match. Would have lost one Blackbird. I think also, though, Casper made a very good point. Where were the rep bots on that Guardian? If they had rep bots, I think Snuff loses a Blackbird, and that might be it for the whole match. Versus Snuff doesn't bring rep bots. Nuke Michaels burns his guns. Snuffed gets shit on.
Yeah, there was one team that the captain just left on him.
Yeah, Sugar's captain just vanished after match one.
Oh god.
No, I don't know why, but their co-captain had to take over. and they threw together a ratting comp basically. So gotta love when you see those like
Are you gonna get to
throw
record
togethers.
back this year?
Get your record back.
I'll get your record back this year. Okay. Well, we all know that. Okay. Goons
Goons wins a match and
capitalized
goes to
on
the
a.
AT.
Yeah, Goons are in the AT. Snuffed made a huge. I didn't realize that he had burnt out his guns. I just thought Snuffed got the ass
I'm
kicked.
gonna send you a DM. I really would like you to put this up on stream. I don't think that Nuke's gonna care because he's the one who did this himself. He made a meme about him burning his guns and posted it in the Eve Discord.
Like, the thing I've seen with the 3 times Snuffs went in, they've taken like 2 to 3 minutes to actually start doing something.
I do think they took a little too long. Like, Casper had a good point. They probably could have. Nuke Michaels put that in the Eve Discord about 15 minutes after the match. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Like, that's one reason I'm not a big Snuff fan, low sec person. But him doing stuff like that a lot of the times and like memeing his own comps, at least like he knows like they aren't top tier, and it is funny for a lot of people, and he goes along with it and has to laugh with everybody. So like, hey, like that you get some props for being able to do that, because it's hard, sometimes not doing well. You get frustrated. I'd rather you just put a smile on your face, learn and meme on if you're not gonna get to the top,
Well, I'm gonna drop off comms, guys. My friend is hassling me to join his comms because we're playing some 7 Days to Die.
Cool.
But again, it was nice talking to you guys again.
Have fun.
And I'm gonna disappear for a little while.
Yeah,
going,
guys. Have some fun tonight.
All right. Before we do the next match, let's give out one more large skill injector. Exclamation mark draw. Let me start the clock. You got 58 seconds. Exclamation mark draw for a chance at a small skill injector before we watch the next match, which is going to be Test versus Literally Triggered. This was another really good match. And start talking a little bit while the countdown's going. So Test brings double arm navies with a Hyperion. Yes! I always love to see a Hyperion in these formats. It may not be the best ship, but it has the most character. Versus
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
Triggered is that a Kingslayer?
No.
Okay, it's not a Kingslayer.
Armor, it's 100. No, I don't think they have a single rapid heavy boat on that. It's armor control plus. I think it's got a little bit of. I mean, you're not trying to project, obviously, but Abaddon projects fairly well. Tempest has some nice fall off range, but that's not their goal, probably.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely looking at a nice ships that don't brawl. You don't approach space with those necessarily. You can, but they want the HP plus newts plus.
Hey, Jiggle.
Nice Sentinel and Arby in there.
Kipla says he puts 4K points on Test.
Yeah, put 4K on Test. Man, I wonder. I put all my channel points on Trigger for this match.
Me 86. Congratulations, you won the small skill injector. I just need to know who to give it to real fast. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching. McCann and Dariel. Okay, create contract. Voila, all yours. Okay, let me hide that. Clear the list. Move me back up here.
Yeah, I put all my channel points on Triggered. Because Test also is not known as one of those teams that can really... they're not a team that performs very well tournament style.
I'm trying to remember the match that scored me 2 Galnet skins.
That was the match I told you to bet on.
Wait, is that the one
Big
we're going to?
Or no, it was. I know who. No. I know.
Is that the
What match it was.
the best match of the series so far?
No.
The hyenas
no,
one,
was...
the one with hyenas, rusty hyenas.
Oh, it might have. No. It was Might have been.
That is, in my opinion, Rusty Hyenas versus Literary Triggered was the best match so far. With Yeet versus Plug and Play being a real close second.
And those are the ones we got after this, by the way.
Yeah, those are going to be the last 2 we're doing.
I told you to bet on. And by the way, just watching Get a Navies plus Hyperion, doing their thing. Hyperion's not in close, which is kind of shocking.
It may have been this match,
right
actually, now that I think about it. Because Kip was talking about this was one of the because Test was never going to be voted on.
Sentinel pop. Sentinel go bye-bye. It seems like they're trying to all in on this Geddon, but the Hyperion's like just sitting dead center, not on top of anything, and it's a little weird seeing a Hyperion.
Yeah, the TD and missile disruption because they don't know how to zoom in on a ship and see what it's fitted with, apparently.
Oh, dude, I called that shit out instantly. I was like, yo, what are you doing? Like, shouldn't you be zooming in on those Geddon? First thing you should be doing is zooming in on those Geddon navies.
Yeah, the TD needs to be on the Hyperion, not on the Geddon.
Well, the RB threw every single TD on that Hyperion, whatever one it was. Didn't matter which one it was. And what's really funny is earlier in the match, I think the Sentinel had the Hyperion with turret TDs properly. But it just seemed like the low end was a little lost on trigger. Like, looking at the ships probably could have been done.
Out of position right now. Hyena should. Where's the Thalia? Where's the Thalia?
What's also funny is, like I said, the Hyperion's positioning seemed a little bit... Like, it wasn't on top of anything for a fair amount of time. In the high end of triggered, surviving fairly well right now. And an Abaddon being the first target for Test that's not in the low end. Good job clearing the low end, though. Got to give them that in the setup. Like, by time
they got rid of
a bad strat.
They got rid of just disruptors and newts, which...
Props to them. They're shooting an exec and an Abaddon. Split damage from Test, but it looks like it's kind of not killing them right now.
Also got damage going on that X, and Deacon looks like it's taking some heat.
If I'm not mistaken, the X the exec has a crap load of drones on it. If I'm not mistaken, the Abaddon's just primary because the hype's on it. I don't think I could see that on the screen, can I? Yeah, the hype's on it. That's the only reason the hype's shooting the Abaddon is because it's on it anyways, so. Deacon's Talia. Interesting. That they're... Like, Test has the damage to break through an Abaddon. I do not dislike the clearing at the low end because it makes it easier. Triggered, I don't know what they're doing. I was sitting in comms and saw a match, like, would you guys shoot something?
Yeah,
please.
Yeah, I'm not the only one that's seeing the AUG Navy out in the middle of freaking nowhere. Saparu, what is he doing? Now he's moving in closer.
Just felt like, I watched this match, right? Triggered has so much damage going in now, and they're nuking again in Navy. And I'm sitting there like, why'd you hesitate so much? Like, it just seemed like everyone must have been shooting whatever they wanted to, and we're just like, weapons free. And now it's like, let's collectively shoot a target, and it's doing that. Like, look at their attack bar compared to Test. Like, it's not even a close thing. And this is where I was like, this match actually might turn around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, literally, Trigger just lost its entire low end, but now you're going, 2 battleships to 3, and you're losing your second one already. You got Logi still, yeah. You got Control still, yeah. Hyena's not going to help you much in this situation.
I
though.
really
Mouse
well,
isn't going to help you much.
They're doing a good job on control, and it seems like their Logi's on point. So maybe
Their Logi's on point. Their control is worthless right now. The Hyena doesn't do shit for them. The Mollusk doesn't really do shit for them. Because they're brawling. And this is where it's like, oh, that Get a Navy's so low. Oh my goodness. He's going to get chunked just like his boy. And then Test is just splitting damage. It seems really weird, too. It just seems like the teams are not collectively... Let's get this target down. Because they all had the damage to, like, pick a target and make it disappear.
Mm-hmm.
But Get a Navy's pulling back. Come to find out, little cheat code. Double rep Get a Navy.
The damage
Apparently
is
it's a
top
double
heavy.
rep Get a Navy. Well, I think the Abba burnt his guns is what someone told me, and then someone else mentioned it was they believed a double rep Get a Navy. Which, all that just seems like together, just like the double rep Get a Navy seems a little weird, but like I've seen some success in like late game play with a lot of double rep fits, especially Captain's Cup. Some people ran some double rep. Or no, it wasn't Captain. Like one of the AT, someone ran a double rep fit and it like pulled back like barely somehow, just like that Geddon did.
Train.
But like I feel like both teams could have had an easier path to victory. Like especially literally might have been able to get away with a win if they focused fire just in the beginning, a little earlier. Because they have a good amount of damage. Like, the Hyena didn't do god-awful at killing Logi frigates. It just seemed like it took a while to kill them. Like, you have a Hyena, whip Logi frigates, you know. They got rid of the small, and it did seem like it took longer than it should have from Test, but... And it also took way longer than it needed to for Trigger to focus on something. Mind you, it's a losers go home match. With 2 losers, so...
Yeah, I think this was the match that got me my 2 Galnet skins.
No. I remember exactly what match it was, because you asked what team. Like, who are those guys? And
okay.
some of the people don't remember, because teams switch their names all the time.
Is it one of the ones we set aside for tonight?
No.
Okay.
It might have been one that we should have, actually. Jeez, where the hell's the schedule here? There it is. I think it was... Day 2... It was Till Doomsday versus Literally Triggered. Is that set aside for tonight?
No, but I have it.
Till Doomsday versus Literally Triggered was the match that we mentioned. You were like, man, I kind of want to bend Literally Triggered. I was like, people aren't betting on Till Doomsday, and I don't know why.
Hold up. I'll pull that one out. Yeah.
I have time. I'm down to watch it next. Spoiler, it's the first match of Literally Triggered, so we do know they lose, but...
It was still a good match.
Did I write it down? Because I was writing down matches I thought that were really good to look back on.
Are we good on this one? It's obvious here. Literally Triggered. Because this was their second match and they're out of the tournament now, right?
They're out of the tournament in that match.
But Test has one more before they can get back into the live server?
2. They have to win 2. Well, if they win their next one, they will have a chance no matter what, if they win or lose their next game.
They have to win 2 in a row. If they lose the next one, then they get a sudden death. If they lose that one, they're out.
If they lose their next match, they're out in general.
Okay.
If they win their next match, they go to a match where if they win, they're in. If they lose, they go to the Galente Gambit, where it is everybody plays each other once. You can only bring Galente bonused ships. No bans. no penalty on how many of each ship type you could bring. So like you can bring 5 cruisers if you wanted to.
God, just bring 10. Just bring 10 Navy X. That's all you need. 10 Navy X carriers, if that's possible. Actually, you wouldn't. You'd be short 30 points, wouldn't you?
You're better off running like a
Okay,
vigilant
so
in there, stuff like
yeah.
that.
Fill out the points, but get as many X Navies for that round. Trust me, it's going to be the best comp. It's the best ship
Trust me,
they'll have.
stop aiming for the Galente Gambit where they could bring their forward Deimos comp.
Oh God. Oh God, a format where it would work. Oh, maybe.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. It still wouldn't work. 3 Ishtars, 2 Eoses.
Well, here's the worry that I have with the drone-based setups is like webs really do help. Webs and paints help drone-based setups quite a bit. You don't have that. You'd have to put a tackler in, not like a hyenas. Hyenas make web comps or drone comps really work well. No hyena. No. At least some form of Weber does really help Galente drone comps. Unless you're going like you can do a medium swarm comp or a heavies on a battleship and headshot stuff, but you just need a lot of damage. And Ishtars and Eoses don't provide that big damage numbers for real megas.
They both had really good looking comps too. Prof Navies, one of the 2 teams we saw fielding this, I think.
I was shocked they doubled down on the Prof Navies. Like they are tanky boys, so I get it. That's a lot of you could get a Brutix Navy. Prof Navy would be nicer.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of those once we get out of feeders.
Here comes the Vindy headshot. I like the call personally. I mean, the Maulus and Maulus just insta-dies.
Easy kill, take it. Same with the carries,
what a lot of
looks
people
like.
don't realize is you can technically tank a Mega Navy to be more than a Vindy. So, like, other teams were headshotting Mega Navies instead of Vindies earlier, and I was like, that web control, plus points, plus EHP being a little bit more on a Mega Navy, for the most part, questionable. But good job by Doomsday, picking the right target here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because like their whole team screams, "I don't want to be primaried." Like everything on their team is like that EHP bar extends into the next match. I wouldn't be shocked if it extended. Like
just so much tank.
Yeah, that HP bar probably extended into the live studio that isn't even set up yet.
I know if you go whole tank Mega Navy, you can get up to like carrier levels of EHP. I doubt it's the whole tank for this format.
You lose. No, that's the thing is like technically on paper, yes, it has more EHP. Links included, plus reactive included, plus the reps you're getting. You actually on paper looks better with hull, but you'll do better with armor because you also get more damage most of the time with armor because you will have that extra low or whatever, 2 lows for those damage controls. If you're running a local Repper, it's going to benefit you to run armor. Vindy down.
Vindy down.
Auger down. Carries Mullen is down.
For all the control coming out of literally triggered, and it's for naught. They're just hemorrhaging ships here. And all they have to show for it is a freaking Crusader. Maybe a Mega Navy. But that Mega Navy has done its job. It is no longer needed. It's like, die well, sir, die well. Because they're literally, or LT's Megas soon to follow.
Yeah, like, they spent all that time killing the Mega. They did have a Guttin, and that is a gun Guttin, not a missile Guttin. So they do have damage coming from it, but not bonus damage, so it's not the greatest.
Oh my lord, they're trying so hard,
like
though.
The count that Triggered brought wasn't horrible. I didn't dislike it at all. But I will say, you're going up against
It wasn't designed to
Doomsday.
go against hardened targets. It was designed to go against...
You could, but it just... Doomsday's comp was just so thick. Like that was thick.
This is definitely a comp to look at going forward. I wonder if they use this again. Doomsday, I mean.
Well, next time you see them, they will be in the Alliance tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Where meta.
Do you think this is their A team? Do you think this is their A team? Like their A comp? Like they brought their best comp?
No.
Okay.
I think Till Doomsday is not a bad team, and I don't think this is their best. I think that this is something you can beat up on teams you know that are not as strong as you. You could run this and beat up on what you deem as a weaker team. This is a good comp for that. So I think they might have said this is definitely the A setup for this kind of match. But against tougher teams, I think this would work. But I don't think this is something that you should be overly confident in against a good team, because you can, like, you might not be able to do what you want effectively. You can get split up. You could get, if you're trying to project, you're not going to be able to do as well. You're slower. Your tanks are higher. So, I mean, you're still doing fair damage. Like, there's a lot of factors where I think that a comp like this can get out-executed pretty easily by a better team, but triggered, I will say, like, on paper, Till Doomsday is a favorite, even though the voting didn't say that, over LT.
All right. And stick with us, guys. We're going to be doing the large skill injector giveaway after we've done these last two matches. So we've got
you're doing this one.
Yeah, we're going to do two. Again, this was a close second for me as terms of the best match of the weekend. Only second to the one with Rusty Hyenas and Hold Control. Jesus Christ, that was a nail biter. But Plug and Play versus Eat, Pray, Love, Azuralite versus Radicos, and others. Yeah, this was a really good match. Do you want to break it down? I'll let you do the breakdown.
Well, so if anyone doesn't know, Yeet, Pray, Love is Nanofiber Tokens, a team that has always performed pretty well in AT, prize ship enjoyers most all the time. Got some really good tier pilots on their team. They have some nice mercenaries on there. Ex-captains from other teams, and a lot of the normal guys that they play with as well, so they feel comfortable with each other. Versus Plug and Play, on the other hand, Radicos is kind of he hops teams quite a bit, and I think people not meme him for it, but like he doesn't make it far, and everyone's kind of been waiting for him to like get through to make it to that like next step, climbing the mountain. And people thought this might be his year. And I will say Eat, Pray, Love is a good team. So I think they were favored to win this match in people's mind. And they bring in this setup a lot, though. I ended up just sitting down with Radicos, actually. I know he's not here, but I did talk to him a little bit without like going too in depth of what we talked about. They bring the same thing in Eat, Pray, Love.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of predict what they're bringing. He predicted they were going to bring this.
Yeah.
He countered it with what he brought. In his opinion, that's the best counter to it. So
Plug and Play was expecting the double like this particular style out of.
They were expecting exactly double get in EOS to a T. They banned the Deacon because they knew they liked Deacon Talia. And
forced him in the double
Talia.
The
Nighthawk ban, I don't know. The Nighthawk ban, I don't know nothing about. But I know he banned Deacon because they bring Deacon Talia with the triple battleship or double battleship plus command ship.
Is there another comp that Eat, Pray, Love is familiar or known for? That
Last AT, they ran this comp every single match. Or at least a version of this comp every single match.
It is a deadly comp, but
it is a good
predictability
comp.
Will be your downfall.
That is exactly where I think, like I said, they do this comp really well. I think they could beat up on teams that might not have the theory craft ability or the execution ability in putting those together. Like, you got to be able to theory craft something that goes against it and execute it really well against a team like this. Radikos, you know, being very experienced, and there are some names on his team with some experience, you know, testing right here if he's going to be able to theory craft something and execute it well enough to beat something that this Eat, Pray, Love team knows inside and out, is comfortable with, and brings because they have that feeling about it.
Because even if this isn't what they plan on taking in the live, you know, in live server, it was a comfortable, even, you know, maybe they, I'm talking about Azura's team. They bring it out because it's comfortable.
This comp,
yeah.
I'm sure they execute this comp fine because, like, Plug and Play's comp, I think, is actually, it looks kind of wonky at first because it's like
Poster
a variation of, like, you hear the words, it's a variation of like a Minmatar Rush style, because it's not really how Min Rush would be ran, because obviously you got the Galente ships in there. And usually people run like semi style in Min Rush. But I will say, like, the variation of the Shield Rush setup that they're running does not look very weak on paper to me.
Yeah.
As you can already see, they're just like getting there. Also,
both teams meeting each other in the center.
2 Jackdaws light missiling into those Logi frigates. And Azura's Sentinel already. Forcing reps to just get spread around.
When spreading damage is actually a good thing.
When you're using 2 Jackdaws, like, you don't need that extra, you know. You don't need the extra 300, 400 DPS on the main target. You're putting it out and making, you know, reps. Like, right now, Azura's not getting reps at all. That Sentinel is on the Sleipnirs, making their gun range 0, and I think they just deemed, like, maybe it's not worth keeping Azura up because the Sentinels are going to be at 0 anyways. But now you're already losing a Geddon Navy.
Yeah.
And now they're going for Zerothal Talia. So now you got to make the decision as a Logi product. How many reps do I want to put on Zerothal? Is it worth putting any reps on Zerothal? Do we want to put all reps on this Geddon Navy? Can the Geddon Navy survive, or do we need to keep the Logi alive? And right now it looks like they're trying to primary the Geddon Navy to survive. They put a rep on Zerothal because they probably realize they're losing the Geddon anyways.
At least they managed to
get
get the
down.
Navy X
they get the
for
exec
it,
and the Stabber. Yeah, they get the 2 tackle ships. They still have the Scythe is a good tackle ship. The Broadsword's an amazing tackle ship, and Sleipnirs aren't anything to scuff at themselves. Going for an EOS next.
Something else I love about their plug and plays comp, unless you're really good at this game, you look at that comp, it's like, who do you shoot at? There's no battleships. All the, you know, these are stuff, I rarely ever see a Sleipnir or a broadsword for that matter.
Like, you look at anything and you're like, all right, these are some free, not free kills, but these are some easy ways to get rid of damage. You're like, Eat, Pray, Loves, like Stabber, ENI, Safely. I don't think their target calling is like absolutely dreadful if you're just looking at something like this, because you're like, that's damage we could get rid of quick. But when you're already down in EOS and a Geddon Navy and that's all you kill, you would think that you'd have done more damage quicker than that compared to them. But like their attack bar, even though they're down in a shield ENI, which is like,
and it's amazing, we're not even
it's
3
the holy
minutes into
grail
the
of
match.
cruiser damage.
This is how little time they've had to figure this stuff out, you know?
They were 3 minutes into the match, and
it feels so much longer.
Like, like in the arena, I feel like he probably loves like, yo, this stuff's taking forever to die. You know what I mean? And Plug and Play is like, that's dead. On to this. You know, like the match is probably moving quick for Plug and Play and really slow for Eat, Pray, Love right now, like mental wise. Then they're going to the Ponty, tackled to get a Navy, Merm Navy down. I think that's a fair call at this point, getting rid of a battle cruiser's worth of damage. Osprey's tackled. That needs to insta-die, but I think they're going to choose to use the Geddon newts on it instead of kill it, because they do need to get some damage off of grid to save this Geddon Navy. And like if they're neuting it out, but it's one get and newt, you could, if you're a good pilot, cycle that.
Well, it's a
cap
newt
boosters at the
Vexor
right
Navy
time.
that's on him, right? Yeah, that's
I
got.
don't know.
I wonder where those newts are coming from.
I would hope he's a newt. He's sitting on top of the Osprey, and
Yeah.
it seems like there's no damage, so I'd hope he's a newt Vexor Navy.
And then you got the Arbitrator down there raining TD hell on the
Raining
Sleipnirs.
TDs, but I don't think they're not going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Like right now, like Ye Pray Love looks like Plug and Play's damage fell off a cliff. Their attack bar was like
Yeah.
also on another screen.
Oh, that's all. Oh.
Right now, Ye Pray Love's putting out more damage than Plug and Play, so that's also because they're shooting Talias though, and application with no webs is kind of scary.
Kipla says he was
Logic
yelling at
breaks.
this moment. Was Tempest Caliphate also part of... Yes, Tempest Caliphate was... I've got that recorded, I think.
Tempest Calcif, yeah, that was a dub and a half.
Yeah.
Like, easy win for Tempest. Free channel points if you bet on them.
Who was it they were against? Was it
I'll look.
was it High-Sec Miners?
Here's what's interesting though. Now they're going into a Sleipnir, which is pumping out those XLASB charges and trying to like live to win. It's still getting reps from the Osprey. I'm wondering if the Osprey is hopefully is neuted out properly by that Vexor. Like hopefully the Vexor's cycling those newts in a way to get maximum cap suckage from that Osprey.
Because one way, for those of you who don't know, if you have cap boosters, if someone has all their neutralizers cycled together, you just wait for the cycles to hit, then you pop your booster and drain your cap yourself before they have a chance to get another cycle off.
And we're going to lose the Sleipnir before we lose this Geddon Navy, which might make it stabilize, but there's still a fair amount of damage on the Eat Pray, or the Plug and Play team with the Sleipnir Broadsword. Broadswords are not something to scuff at damage-wise. They actually have fairly good
Cayman's
damage.
wondering why nobody went for the Jackdaws. Like, why were the Jackdaws never primary?
They didn't have a small end to do it. Like I hate to say it, the only thing you could do is put drones to do it. Because Geddon Navies will not really, I don't think they'll apply the greatest to those Jackdaws. EOS is a drone boat. Like, the Eat Pray Love team does not have... Like, their damage is not anything horrible, but it's not, going to be...
They're designed to fight bigger ships, and Jackdaws can get all slippery and reduce their SIG and make themselves even tankier, go into tank
Eat
mode
Pray
and
Love's
just get
meant
reps.
to kill... Eat Pray Love's meant to kill an easy target, and, it is... It's weird because they're running, like, the 2 rapid heavy battleships. They're meant to just kill a target. But they just, there's so many targets to shoot. Everything has damage. They can't evaporate the ship they want to evaporate. Like, that won't make a difference. You have to evaporate 3 ships to make a difference.
I mean...
Which they evaporated 2 off the gate. Scythe took a little longer. And then they had to reload and do it all again. And by that time, it was just unfolding for Plug and Play.
Well, considering
like
the
I said,
hard
there's a lot of
counter...
good players in these matches.
Yeah, considering that they were pretty hard countered here, I think they did about as well as they could. Again, it's easy to sit here after the fact and, oh, they should have done this and that. But there was literally like 2 minutes had passed. That is not a lot of time,
like 2
guys.
minutes have passed, and it feels like a match has already gone by. You're sitting there, like, everything's moving overly quick or overly slow sometimes for these teams when they're on the grid. You got to be making decisions in the time scale for some people. Like, that's something I think that people don't talk about at all. Is, like, better teams...
And this was probably one of the most hype matches of the
tournament.
weekend, too. So you add that. We had 3,500 people watching the stream, at least at this point. So a lot of pressure on both teams.
In like an hour before this match, yeah.
Like, don't take it too bad. You guys will make it. Trust me, you're gonna mow through everybody in the lower end just fine.
I will, like I was saying, I think one thing to point out is, and it does not get talked about at all, is that I do think top end teams have a better feel to keep the match in a this is what 7 minutes of a match feels like, and they know what 7 minutes feels like in time. They know how many minutes they're in the match. They feel like, I feel like some teams are like, oh, the match is only 2 minutes in, oh, the match is only 5 minutes in, or holy crap, we're already this many minutes. They don't, like, the time scale doesn't click all the time. Like, better teams, I feel like they know, we got to kill this ship in 30 seconds. That was 40 seconds. That's fine. That was like a minute and 30 seconds. That's not fine. Like, they have the time locked down a lot better than new teams, and that does not get talked about by anybody. And I think that's something that those better teams need more credit for as well.
Yeah, and this was quite possibly the best match of the entire weekend. Rusty Hyena's Clan versus Whole Control. Oh my lord, they gave us a good show. I'm pretty sure they're both wormhole groups. Obviously, Whole Control is. That's Mark Resurrectus's group. Or is he part of their group or just friends with them?
He's friends with all the wormhole groups, aka Mark wants CSM votes from all the wormhole groups,
Yeah.
so he's friends with all of them.
CSM or Mark Resurrectus for CSM, guys.
Yeah, you guys. I hate to say it because like I don't want to influence your votes and stuff. Vote how you want. But we're not going to get clips of him on stream.
Hold up.
Pull up the clip.
Yeah, I'm already pulling it up. You're won
you're not
my vote with that clip.
these moments in Eve if you don't keep him in the top end of the community. You might not like his opinions, you might not like this, but like moments like this are kind of what make everybody laugh and have fun knowing they're in this Eve community. You know what I mean? And that's a game, guys.
Yeah, okay, so last weekend they were doing a fantasy draft, and Mark was voting, or he was picking all the wormhole groups, and they're like, why are you doing it? And this was his response. They'll kill my cat. They'll kill my cat. That's why he has to. That's why he has to vote for wormholers, because they'll kill his cat.
Oh.
Anyway, but oh my lord, 2 great team comps: double Drake Navy, double Caracals, a bunch of shield long range missiles.
One's a shield kite team and one's a shield brawl team, and this is an interesting matchup to me always, because at the end of the day, I think the shield kite team should win this matchup, right? Because the goal is, and that's if you're competent. Keywords, if you're a competent team. Because the goal is, they're going to rush you, and if you just spread out around the entire arena, they have to travel to each individual one of you and catch you. You know? Because they need all their damage on one ship. So, they have to waste their time, you spread out. It sucks because, like, Laji's going to probably have to do OT or end up getting caught or whatever. You got to spread out and just waste their time, make them travel around the arena while you just floss into them with your ships. So, but that, once again, you're talking execution of setting up every single person individually piloting so they're just not near anybody and spreading like that, and then, not trying to get caught as well. You can make it. Listen, it's not as easy as it sounds, but you can arguably do it. Oh, that guy's caught. Everyone get away from him. Make them come to the other side of the arena to catch someone, and then all you run to the other side.
Oh, look at the
It's
pretty explosions.
yeah. It's
This match
they're
really
burning
showed off the
immediately.
new. Yeah.
I mean, they're in on it already. And at first, I was like, "Wait a
Look
minute,
at
is
how well
hyenas a
that crow lived. Oh, he caught that crow. Oh, but he paid for it with his life.
Dude, it was like I'm looking at this match and I'm like, wait, isn't Rusty Iron as a kite team? Like that Basilisk insta dies. I'm like, they need to get away from all these people. Like they just need to peace. Because only one thing's caught right now. Leave. Goodbye. Like, now you start to see them all diving the heck away. Look at them. Just bye bye. The hyena dies, which is a big blow. Big blow. Both Ospreys down. Hyena's about to go down. Scythe is down. Like, everything's just dying. Cyclone Fleet's down. Miracle Navy's next. Like, Hull Control's like, that guy is gonna die. As long as they catch him, that guy is going to die.
You get a ham, and you what were they? Ham fit?
Yeah.
You get a ham, and you get a ham.
Ham sandwiches for everybody.
Chasing that hyena down. Miracle Navy right on his ass. Can he finish him
Well,
off?
here's the hard thing. Rusty Hyenas is like, we can shoot this guy, and we all can shoot him and don't have to be on top of him. So they're just picking targets and saying, we want to kill him next, and we want to kill him next. Their damage is just less. But they also have the ability to spread the arena. But right now, it's, Hull Control's 45-19 is huge lead. Like, Rusty Hyenas just needs to start spreading out.
They're trying to get away.
Which is weird, because at this point I was like, I feel like you need to kill the fastest ship on Hull Control's team. Like I said, make it a little bit harder for them to tackle
At
stuff.
that point, what is it?
Another thing is, I don't know why there's, like, Hull Control team shooting a Mollusk. They might just put their drones on it. That's probably what they did. But it just feels like y'all need to be on top of stuff anyways, so... Miracle Navy down, that was a good call.
This is when we thought they were about to boundary, right? They're right on the edge.
Yeah, they got pushed right against the boundary.
They're right on the edge of the boundary. There's nowhere
this
place
is
for
where the
them.
piloting like gets really smart. You need to find an escape route that's not going to get you tackled. And like I said, I think at this point you need to be far away from each other. You don't want to be on top of each other. You want to make their lives very difficult if they do catch one of you, that they have to travel the arena to catch the next guy.
Drones are about to finish off that Mollusk. It's in Hull.
Like, look at the difference between these attack bars and these, like, defense bars as well. Like, it's huge difference.
And hyenas are
Difference
using a
Rusty
lot
Hyena
more
can
of their
always
damage
apply
bar.
that damage. Well, the hyenas is using more because they can apply it the entire game. Hull Control cannot. They all have to get on a ship and do the damage to that ship. It's like right now, Hull Control's bar is going to go up. Because they're, like, once they all start arriving on this fleet cyclone, that bar is going to go up even more. Now, Rusty Hyenas has brought it back, though, with that Miracle Navy and Drake kill, where Hull Control only killed 2 small ships in the Mollusk and the Carries. That's it. They didn't catch anything besides this fleet cyclone when they pushed it against the arena, and they didn't catch it instantly either. So now, like Rusty Hyenas, like, oh, well, we gotta just kill small ships, get points leads right now. Is probably what they're thinking. Get rid of damage, get rid of tackle. Make it take longer to kill us
trying
individually. They got the Osnav.
Now they're on the low end the regular cyclone.
At one point, I thought Rusty Hyenas, like, I'm like, you're shooting a Drake Navy. I feel like there's better targets, personally. And I'm like, you know what? And then the Cyclone, I was like, that's an interesting call. Not a hater of it, but it's like, geez, it just feels like Hyenas pulled it back at the end right here. But now they're about to be down to 1 battle cruiser and 2 cruisers versus 3 battle cruisers and a cruiser. That's not a good matchup. But looking like now it's actually going to be 2 battle cruisers and a cruiser versus a battle cruiser and 2 cruisers. Close match here. Halfway. We're only halfway through, by the way.
Yep.
The time-wise. Feels like it's been going on forever and it should almost be over. No, the time is only half gone.
Such a nail biter. It's like, who's so
Well, your
stressful.
Cyclone Fleet is no longer tackled and is leaving. The Cyclone was tackling the Cyclone Fleet. So I don't know who has tackle left on the whole control team, but the Cyclone Fleet does die. That's the other thing, too. If you're running these shield rushes, sometimes team will do, like, you get a web and you get a scram. Like, you're going to have a web and the other guy's going to have a scram. So we have more HP. If you kill off all the scrams,
Let's see,
or all the
on
webs, it does make
paper,
it
it
harder.
looks like good for whole control, but they can't apply their damage, and Rusty Hyenas are just going to town and, like, they
got to catch stuff.
Yeah. And that
If
Caracol is just not going to do it.
If this was Ham versus Ham, whole control wins right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. So Hyena's kiting ability is going to buy them time to probably win the match.
That's all they need. Because
Whole
the
control just
Logis were
needs
the
to kill a
first
Drake
victims in
Navy.
this. It's been a war of attrition ever since.
Whole control basically just needs to get on top of preferably a Drake Navy, kill it, and then they're not going to be able to outrun Rusty Hyenas long enough to time it, but like their best navies do something to catch that Drake Navy. And like, look how far away everyone is on the grid right now. Like the entire grid is not even near each other. It almost, oh no, he's speeding up now. So say, hump in the Drake wasn't moving very much. I don't know what hump is pulling towards. Maybe an MJD play, but that's pretty.
It looked like they may
you got
have been...
nothing else you could do at this point, I guess.
Well, Hyenas wins if nothing else dies, so...
Exactly. 2 points. 2.5 minutes. I think they could kill a Drake in 2.5 minutes. He's trying to run out of the missile range. Probably then he's going to an MJD beacon. Might try to get out of the missile range a little bit, outrun the missiles, and then jump onto something. That would be the smart play right now. You know, that's what you have to do. You have nothing else you can do. You need to make a play happen. You got to kill 2 points worth of ships, aka kill anything by the end of the match and live. If you can kill the Drake Navy and die, they're even on points, actually. Now, it's obviously not a good situation for hull control, but if they somehow get on top of something else, they win. Especially flying tie-dye. Kite is not the easiest thing to fly when you're in tie-dye. Look at that. He's on the jump beacon. They're all starting to pull towards him a little bit, so you can't jump onto him. Making sure their missiles are applying. The other Drake, the other ships just did a MJD play, the Navy Drake, and he ended up just in the middle of them, kind of near the Drake Navy. I don't think
It's a little
he
too little, too late.
enough.
Felt like
The
he
other
should have
Drake
done that a lot
MJD'd
quicker.
away. Yeah, I agree. The other Drake MJD'd away because he knows he needs to live, and they were all close enough to him where it wouldn't matter. He's just buying time.
Did a
Not like
really
he's
good
got a
job
lot
of
of
landing
time
on the next
left.
beacon, you know? So now he's just slow boats.
He's right there, but like they have 45 seconds to kill something.
Yeah, can't really run away at this
Like
point.
I hate to say it, you like
Yeah, staying alive
gotta
really
hope
isn't
you
going to
live.
help you. Pincer move, get that Osprey.
you have 30 seconds. You're not going to kill anything on grid at this point. Sadly, it's GFs. Your Drake is going to die too. Either like you're not going to kill anything and your Drake live. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I will say like that off the gate was just like Hyenas. Like props to them for
Figuring it out.
flying that.
They knew what they had to do was survive. Survive as long as possible. They can keep their damage
Buy
going
time.
100% of the time. The enemy cannot. Just buy time. They will slowly be dead. And that's what happened. You know.
And you know what? In the beginning, like it seemed like Hyenas were all in the thick of it, and at first I was like thinking, Man, if hull control grabbed multiple targets, because like they're missiles, they could shoot like 20 kilometers. If anything's within 20 kilometers of you, and you scram that guy, and you scram that guy, and you scram that guy, you could apply damage to whoever you want as long as they're within, like about 20 kilometers.
Wow, is right,
That's
Juror.
also like hard to do too, but like.
That's the bar that has been set for this AT tournament right now. We're not even out of the feeders and we're getting matches of that quality. There were definitely some stinkers, some really horrible showings from some teams, but there were also, I would say it was about 50-50. I think, you think that's fair? About 50-50 about good matches, bad matches so far?
I would say this. There would be a lot more good matches. And I will say I do not recommend bringing 3 Scorpions and really weak damage in EHP ships.
Oh, God.
I would also recommend if you're going to join the Alliance tournament, join the Alliance tournament with a full team.
Who was that? Had that. We're not going to watch the whole match, but you guys have to see how fast these fuckers. Was that?
You could watch the whole match. It's over in 2 minutes. It's second match of the first day.
I don't have them labeled. I have them labeled by who was playing. We'll know real quick. That's not it.
I know who the 6-man team name was.
Banana versus Platinum?
I'll figure it out. I'll look. I have the schedule.
That's it. Here it is. I found it.
Banana.
It was Banana. Oh, my Lord. They died so quick. Okay, hold up. Back it up. Just
start it from the beginning. I was going to say, if you start from the beginning, this will be hilarious.
This is hilarious how bad this goes for them. So triple Scorpions and everything else is blasters.
Look at Hecate's charging in. What Hecate's? What are you talking about?
Two dead. Not even 30 seconds in.
AK, all you have left for damage now is 2 exec navies, and if those are cruise Scorpions, that. And also notice how quick the execs are dying. Like, either they're not plated and they're all damage fit, or there's something that just seemed like.
Yeah, this was a painful one. This is
it would have worked. I promise, it would have worked if they brought 4 Scorpions, just like when Snuff brought 4 Dimoses. It would have worked. I'm telling you.
This wasn't even
100%.
the worst match. This wasn't even the worst match.
The worst match was the Snuffed versus Banana match, in my opinion.
I don't have that one. I didn't wake up in time. But the very last match of the weekend was White Squall versus IGE. Do you guys want to see the worst match? This was the worst match.
You know what you should do? You should throw the worst match on while we just kind of recap everything, not even like go over the last match.
Hold up, let's do the roll off! Exclamation mark draw for a large skill injector.
Play in the background while you do that.
This plays in the background. Enjoy.
Y'all can all question everyone's existence here.
This is the worst match. That's right, and I want you guys to take a moment. Do you see something wrong with Red Team? Do you see something wrong with Red Team? Exclamation mark draw for a large skill injector while we watch the worst match of this weekend. This one was painful. Oh, it was so painful.
Yeah, they're not in 3 Lesheks. Like, if you're gonna, like, I gotta say, please. Like, I understand people want to be in the tournament. You want to get started. I'd rather you get started than not get started.
Oh, there was some drama in the Twitch chat.
How do you not find 10 people,
There was so much drama in the Twitch chat. People are like, why would you not tell us they only have 6 pilots before you let us put our channel points into them? Oh, some salty motherfuckers.
Not gonna lie, I spent 4,000 channel points on IGC.
Yeah. I think I spent some too. You can bite
Kirk put
my
like
ass.
2K
I
in there.
lost points on this match. I
No,
was
dude,
like,
I told Kirk to pick IGC too. I feel bad. He just put the wrong number in. Like,
shit, hold up. We're still in the countdowns. Fast forward this bitch. Because it takes them like 5 minutes before they even engage each other. If I remember. Hold up. We may have to fast forward a little bit. Because they're going to do this whole little dance around each other.
I think that's the
thing.
whole meme of it. Like, let them dance around for a little bit. Let them dance
There we
around.
go.
while
Yeah,
do
here
the
we are.
little-
A minute and a half, and they're finally engaging each other.
No, they're not.
Something
Oh,
was
they're
taking
finally,
damage.
yeah, though. They're finally, like, looking to engage each other. Yeah. Good point. Want to do your roll off?
The
That
Benny
was a
Hill.
good time. That was a good time. Benny Hill, yes, exactly.
I can't do it right.
Oh, yeah, this is for the.
Were these the
Oh,
guys?
yeah. Yeah, this is the right one. You skip past the MJD play though, right? Oh no, there was a match after this, right? It
I
was
thought that
Gita's
was
team. Wormhole versus IGC also was a bad match. You want to show that one too? That's the one where they do nothing for 5 whole minutes and then MJD. That one's the worst.
Then
one.
Fitz, you won a large skill injector. I just need to know who to give it to. Yes, that was you.
Yeah, Ghosty, pull up the IGC versus Hull Control.
Give me a second.
That one is the Benny Hill, as all can be.
No, that's not it.
Should be. It was it's the last one you recorded. If they're in order in any way. This one, like. And what's really funny is after that first setup, people still thought that they would bring more than 6 guys.
Paragon.
This is the greatest start of all time. You got Shield Rush. This is Ham Rush, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Shield 6-man attempt at Shield Kite. Mind you, the Nighthawk is Ham fit. The Nighthawk is Brawl fit. But they want a kite. So maybe he somehow made it projection with hams. I don't know what they're doing there, but
Let's see. I feel bad for the guys. I don't mean to laugh and make so much fun. At least you have
bring
the
10 guys, please. Bring 10 guys, please.
Yeah.
I understand if something happened. I understand if, like, you had a team and people didn't show. It sucks. I'm a captain. I know people don't show. But, like, hey, get in there next year and just, like, make your main focus recruiting in people and just, like, hey, it doesn't matter how good they are. Just get a team. That's the only way you're going to get practices with 10 guys. Focus on recruiting. Like,
is there any sort of refund policy on the
No.
entry fees?
no. Enjoy losing, you lose 3,000 plex. It's actually, I love how they're like, it's only costing you 500 plex. I'm like, dude, it's 3,000 plex. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Hold up a second.
3K plex is not, listen, no pores. No pores.
No pores.
No pores.
Hold up
No
a second.
pores.
I got time to give it, but trust me, I've got time to give you the skill injector before they'll shoot each other. There you go. There's your skill injector. Back to the match. See, no one's taking damage. What did I say? I have time to pass
we're
out
back.
a prize before they shoot each other in this match.
Look at this, guys. They're like 100 away from each other. Mind you, IGC, like, I don't know what they want, but they got Sentry sitting way down there. A cloud of drones chasing, their own drones chasing after themselves. Stork ahead of the team, And Hulk Control's just sitting there as a rush team on an MJD beacon looking for an opportunity to jump. They're 100 off of the team, right? Well, if IGC doesn't want to brawl, they need to move because they're exactly 100 off right now. And 3, 2, 1. There those links. Jump drive active.
Let's go, boys.
There it is. There's the jump drive.
Only 4 minutes in.
Yeah, 3 minutes into the match where brawl teams decide to sit on MJD beacons and not move at all. I will say this jump does look pretty. Like, look at all the ships basically landing right next to each other.
They were taking time for the perfect formation. That's what it was.
Yeah, they weren't looking up on YouTube how to use a micro jump beacon.
Yeah, that was the meme, right? That they had to look it up on YouTube real fast to figure out how to use it. I'm sorry, Jita. We're shit talking your team so much. You're a cool guy. Don't hate me, Jita.
Jita, like, in actuality, did y'all have to look up a tutorial?
Yeah, please tell us. Tell us, did you have to look it up?
We're not trying to shit on you, but, like, be honest. If that happened, I get it. Listen.
No, seriously, you actually gain cool points if you were able to pull up a YouTube video in the mid of match to figure out a mechanic and then pull it off successfully.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like, Ghosty's not wrong. Like, that's kind of a flex, actually, more than anything.
It's like, how best to pwn these noobs? Let me pull up my book of tactics.
How to use MJD beacon.
The MJD
right
play.
Click, activate. Search on YouTube how to use MJD beacons. And here we see they kill the Osprey first.
Oh no, they were waiting for the skill to finish training. Debris says they all had to train it.
Even though they give you all skills, they uninjected their skills in the match and then tried to retrain them before they actually made the move because they felt bad for the other team. Oh gosh. I hate that this was by far the worst match of the entire tournament to watch. Like, it just hurt my head being like... And what sucks is, by the way, just pointing out, the last match of day 1 and the last match of day 2, horrible matches. Horrible matches. I promise you the last match of day 3 is not going to be this bad.
Oh...
I mean, unless Dracarys brings 6 and we shit on them. The last match of day 3 will not be this bad.
Do not underestimate our foes, sir.
I don't underestimate, but I don't underestimate us.
We're sitting here laughing at people having bad games, and we still haven't had our match. Watch it. Let's please not have to eat some crow.
We will get memed so
we
hard
would be so memed. Snuffed will never let us live it down.
They
All
can't.
right.
They really can't talk. What, we're going to beat them in the Galente Gambit and beat the Deimoses again?
If I come at us, bros.
That would be fitting almost, not going to lie.
Maybe we intentionally throw the first match just so we can do it. No. Get us into the
collusion.
No.
Don't tell Mr. Rive.
No collusion. No collusion. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Again, this was going to be a short stream. I need to go do something real fast. I may come back on later and play something, but I need to take a break for like 30 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to raid you guys off into Azura Light. Please tell him I said hi. Show him some love. He might be a little grumpy. I don't know. He bears it well.
Give him your condolences for their loss today. He might get upset with it, but his team will do fine.
Yeah, we're going to send you over to Azura Light for a bit. I may be back on later, or if Azura's running a fleet, I may join his or something like that. But yeah, I got to run to the store real fast, so I'm not going to make you guys sit on a BRB screen for that long. Peace out. Thank you for being here. Laters.